It's story time, from Stephen McDaniels to Gabriel Renee's crimes. Amy Day's tale, a dark design, but they cover it all with comedy in mind. The world of true crime, they're always spewing lies. The world of true crime, they leave their shoes behind. The world of true crime, they entertain you and I. They always do time in the world of true crime. They dig up the facts, but the jokes will fly. Dark tales and humor, a curious tie. From mysteries old to motives unkind, they'll lighten the load with a laugh you'll find. Their downfall's worse than a suitcase on the stairs. Justice comes tumbling, nobody cares. On YouTube they gather this team you can't miss, turning chaos and crime into comical bliss. The world of true crime, they're always spewing lies. The world of true crime, they leave their shoes behind. The world of true crime, they entertain you and I. They always do time in the world of true crime. So if you crave justice with a laugh on the side, tune in for a wild, unforgettable ride. Dark humor and crime, they intertwine. In the world of true crime, the laughs align.
Gary busy in my backyard, veneers in his face. Gary busy in my backyard, he won't vacate from this place. He's my mortal nemesis, he won't leave the premises. His teeth I always see, he's hiding in the trees. Gary busy in my backyard, veneers in his face. Gary busy in my backyard, he won't vacate from this place. He's such an evil foe, he's laughing in my phone. He's everywhere that I go, he won't leave me alone. Gary busy in my backyard, veneers in his face. Gary busy in my backyard, he won't vacate from this place. As Gerald foe, he's laughing in my phone. He's everywhere that I go, he won't leave me alone. Gary busy in my backyard, veneers in his face. Gary busy in my backyard, he won't vacate from this place. Everyone's Gary busy. Everyone's Gary busy. Everyone's Gary busy. Everyone's Gary busy.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio, and here we are again, back at it with another video. But I mean, not but I guess it's going to be a lot like other people who get up on the stand to help themselves. But we'll get into it in a minute. Krista, my co-host and producer, is right over there off camera.
Hi.
So let's unpack this case a little bit. If you're not familiar with Scott Nelson, which is who we are talking about tonight, so much to go over. Watch his interrogation footage. It's out there on YouTube and etc. Worth it. But I wanted to do the prosecution's side of things because Scott here employs interesting strategy toward the end. But anyway, moral of the story is what he is on trial for here now is in and out of jail a whole bunch, and it's victim complex to the extreme. So what happened was Julio Dominguez, which is his parole officer, apparently cost him a job. And so that made Scott here run to Walmart and buy a kill kit, stake out a house, and exact his revenge on the
Somebody
criminal
else?
justice system. Actually on a lady named Katie Wolfarth. She was just this family's nanny. He abducted her, used her card, took a bunch of money from her. Maybe not a bunch, but relatively. And then duct taped her head up and left her on some property near Disney World. So this is taking place in Florida.
Shocker. Probably got his kill kit from Publix.
And Publix, I believe, comes up at some point. But Scott Nelson here is such a piece of shit. I cannot believe. I can. I've been around the block long enough to know. I'm not going to be like one of those judges who's like, this is the most senseless case of all the senseless cases. No. On a spectrum, Scott's probably closer to the middle than the extreme. But he comes across as such a smug idiot. That's the two things that often go hand in hand are idiocy and smugness. Because smug people are usually too stupid to realize they shouldn't be.
Right. He looks... can they see the picture?
Not yet.
Okay.
But that being said, let me make him here a little small. Before this, when he was interrogated, he had a curly little ponytail. So, and he was wearing a Tyvek suit because I don't know, he ditched, there's a backpack. And basically, they'll walk you through it hand in hand with the cross-examination. But just a spoiler alert a little bit. When he was up talking to his defense, they were like, hey, basically, I asked him, who's Julio Dominguez? And he goes, oh, he's the guy who ruined my life. It's his ex, I guess now ex, but I guess then maybe current parole officer. He got him fired, all this other stuff. He talks about being a kicked dog and yada, yada, yada. He's a whiny little bitch is what I'm getting at. So, yeah, toward the end, when he figures he's done answering questions, because they always think that. They always think, well, I'll just get up there and my defense attorney will, lick my butt for
softball
45 minutes to 3 hours. The prosecutor will come and be in my face a little bit, and then I'll get down. No, they can keep you up there for the rest of your natural life if they wanted to, essentially. They don't let you go until they're done chewing you to the bone.
He looks like he would represent himself.
He didn't. His lawyer had basically nothing to go on, because what do you do when you have yourself a little kill kit and you have yourself
right.
It was... make yourself familiar with this case if you haven't, because his is one of four of the ages because of the stupidity, and we'll also walk through it too because part of his one of the worst dickheads ever, says Rachel, and yeah, you're right. So one of the things that he's going to bring up is the system did me wrong, and the system, and I was let down, and yada yada yada, and I was poor, and I was poor. So he had all this money, and his lawyer, not his lawyer, the prosecuting attorney goes over all the stuff he bought with his kill kit. He's okay, so you were hungry, right? You got zip ties, duct tape, this, that, and the other. And you go, what are you going to do with that? So he'll say stupid shit. We'll get into it. I'm sorry, I just preloaded so much. But he's where were you on such and such date and time? He's I was here. And she's what are you doing there? He's I got to be somewhere. Touche, right? I got to exist somewhere. And so I just happen to be existing
Where else
there
is
at
there
the
to
time.
go?
Jesus Christ. So here we go. Scott Nelson on the stand. Hey.
You didn't wrap her in the comforter.
I didn't do that.
Who did it?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah. So it starts a little bit jarringly. They're talking about the comforter from the bed that comes up later. But did he take it? Did he leave it? Where'd it
Apparently
go?
not.
Maybe she did.
Tools.
Maybe she was cold.
The implication. Oh, here we go. That's the thing. We're jumping right into it. I can't believe it. So, oh my God. Let me make sure that we're not. Oh yeah, because there's a little bit of news footage here.
to stand trial after months of delays.
Be very frank with you. Jennifer Lynn Fulford would be alive today had it not.
Jennifer Fulford. Katie Fulford was another murder victim. It's bizarre. So Katie Fulford was the storage locker murder, like.
Oh, a different person?
Yeah, that fat scumbag who shaved his head immediately, he killed her in her own storage container, brought her both Wolfords. This is Jennifer Wolford. Jesus.
I wonder if they're related.
For Julio Dominguez.
There we go. Julio Dominguez.
For that statement, sir.
I think the world should know that. I mean, it's justice. The truth should be known, sir.
This is his defense.
So the whole reason he killed this poor woman, random woman, was because
Julio
his parole
Dominguez.
officer cost him a job.
Yeah, and he wanted
allegedly
to get up on the stand to say that specific thing.
And then
so
get down.
Now that his defense attorney is done asking him that, he figures he can just hopscotch his way back over to his table. And no, he's going to be there for another hour and 12 minutes, roughly.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
6 of them, sir.
Nice.
Okay.
This is his defense attorney,
And
by
I
the way.
don't believe I have any further questions.
That's it.
Step 1, Julio Dominguez is to blame. Step 2, I have 6 felonies. Step 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 4,
Profit.
freedom, in this case. Here comes Ms. Burdick. Yeah, I've got a few questions. About an hour's worth. Oh, and he whines about, so part of what, she'll get into it obviously too, but I have to spoil it a little bit for you. He had a bunch of health problems and colostomy bag and she's going to raise the idea, and some have speculated that he partially was driven to commit this crime because he could get free health care in prison. And when you've got a colostomy bag, those things I imagine are expensive to take care of and such. So, because in his interrogation, he talks about after he kills her, he went and bought a pizza with her money, and he called it blood pizza. He's like, someone had to die for me to eat this pizza. He's trying to be a 14-year-old boy's version of what a hard ass is, out of a Marvel Comics movie.
So I wonder, because you brought, okay, so I know we're just going to belay this even longer. If somebody kills or does a crime.
Kills or does a crime.
Yeah, if somebody commits a crime to go to jail for reasons of.
Insanity? No.
Of that, to get medical care or just to have to be in 4 walls, if you're homeless.
It's impossible to tell. It's impossible. But
if it was proven that was the case, then what do you do?
They still have to go to jail, just because they wanted to have free medical care and they killed someone. You don't go, well, hey, you tried to scam us. Now you can't go to jail.
Well, no, obviously they would go to jail, but do they They
still have to take care of them. That's the thing. That you can't. It'd be cruel, unusual punishment if you denied someone medical care behind bars, even if they deserved it. Like Scott Nelson here.
Good morning, Mr. Nelson.
Good morning, Ms. Burdick.
Ms. Burdick.
Where are
Institutionalized.
you from?
Originally,
Uh-huh.
I was born in the state of Massachusetts and raised in the state of New Hampshire.
Boston.
And you moved to Orlando in March or May
Why?
of 2017, correct?
That's correct.
And you came here and
From
then
the SS Minnow.
you were under the supervision of this individual by the name of Julio Dominguez.
That's correct.
So, Mr. Dominguez was a federal probation officer.
And he made you kill someone? Interesting story. Elaborate.
That's correct.
Enhance.
And Mr. Dominguez,
Did what?
according to your statement, is the individual responsible for Jennifer Fulford's death.
Yes.
Bingo. Yeah, you nailed it. You know what? He's a real dick.
Case closed.
My parole officer, federal employee, did he kill her? Yeah.
Did Mr. Dominguez kill Jennifer Fulford?
No,
Oh.
Who killed Jennifer Fulford?
I did.
Oh, okay. But
So,
caveat.
With a caveat.
You left unsaid why Mr. Dominguez is responsible for her death. Would you like to explain?
Oh boy,
Yes.
would I?
Please do.
God, please. Like, do you wonder why his defense attorney didn't ask this question?
I was employed in Winter Park for a painting company
Ta-da.
by a alleged Christian family.
Alleged Christian. He's
Alleged.
accusing them of being Christians. These alleged Christians.
Who took it in their interest because I was such a dedicated, hard worker, allowed me to live at their employment as well. Prior to that, I had been homeless after being released from federal custody.
No,
Thrown to
because
the
of you guys. You never asked.
street, homeless with no money. I mean, that's how they do business.
The prison.
Anyway.
They're not. The prison system isn't set up to like get you back on your feet after you commit a crime. They're basically warehousing you.
Federal supervised release officer, Julio Dominguez, after suffering on the streets of Orlando for many months
Poor baby.
with no identification, thanks to the Federal Bureau of Prisons throwing out my IDs.
Let me
Yeah,
interrupt.
they just tossed him out. They go, "What's that, Scott Nelson? Woo! You get nothing. Get out of
Shredder.
here."
Yes, ma'am.
You said many months. We're talking about 3 or 4 months, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Many. Huge. Huge.
I mean, that's
And I
What did
was,
Mr. Dominguez do to you?
he made it a point to create a situation with my employer / landlord, which is one of the same. And he got
Yeah, because that's what the slash implies, Scott. Employer / landlord.
which
Spoiler alert, guys, it's the same guy. That slash, he is that slash, essentially.
me thrown on the street after months of suffering on the streets.
So much suffering. 3 months of suffering. Months. As long as it's more than one, he could say months. So he's not technically wrong, but boy, is it annoying.
I mean, would you want to be homeless for 3 or 4 months?
I wouldn't want to be homeless at all, but I'm not a scumfuck who was in and out of federal prison committing crimes and such. Slash, yeah.
Streets of Orlando.
So what he did was notify your employer that you were on federal probation.
No, actually, Ms. Burdick, what he did was
Well, let's hear.
I satisfied the courts and the probation officers' criteria. I told them that I would.
That's how I want every explanation in my life to go. The completely opposite direction. So what did he do? Tell your employer that you were on probation? No, what happened was what do you mean you? What did he do? What did he do to get you fired? And if your answer starts with, well, you're way off base, you dipshit.
Was in prison, and I named the felony, and they were happy with that. The
Cool.
family.
But you
That
didn't say that you
satisfied
were
the
on
court.
probation.
He took it upon himself to, as he called it, a third-party
good day.
perspective, and he went to the owner, and he used vulgar language and said, "What are you, blank, crazy for letting this man live here?"
I love when criminals,
Blank.
alleged criminals at the time, censor themselves. Like they don't say the F word or the C word in front of people, and they go blank. Whatever they use, it's never the same. Like sometimes they'll say bleeping or blanking, or he'll just say blank, like he wouldn't say the ing,
Right.
even though the ing is not necessarily the bad part of the word.
But it's
Blank.
part of the word.
What are you? I know, but it's not the bad
Are
part.
you blank kidding me?
Are you bleeping blanking me? Oh, fuck, dude.
And you're going to let him work here? Get him out of here. And that got me thrown on the street.
Get him out of here. That's what he did. After I had proved beyond a reasonable doubt that I had a felony and I told him what it was, he said, "Are you blank crazy?" And then they did fire me.
All right, and this was in August or September?
It was the last Saturday of August 2018, ma'am.
17.
17. I'm sorry, 17.
So your employer paid you, however, for the time that you had worked there prior to your being thrown out onto the street.
That's nice of him.
Yes, I received, I believe, one paycheck.
Was this the
After
paycheck
months of suffering, yes. He was suffering for months.
that you used to open up an account in Winter Park?
He's perfect.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
What bank was that?
Murderers Mutual.
I'm sorry, I don't recall.
All right. Is this the account that provided you with the check that you used to make purchases at Walmart in September of 2017?
Beautiful too. Like make it extra traceable. Like go to Walmart first of all, where you're under 4K surveillance the whole time. From
Use your
multiple
card.
angles. But like use your one and only paycheck to open up a checking account and then pay for things. The easiest way to be traced, a check. Holy shit.
That would be correct.
All right. The account balance was what? $500.
Oh,
I don't recall, but it just sounds
sounds great.
Realistic.
I love it.
Sounds about the approximate dollar value of the paycheck that you would have gotten and then deposited into this bank account.
yes, Ms. Burdick.
All right.
All
So
right.
if it was paid weekly, if he was getting $500,
So
room and
with
board, I
that
guess.
money, in the middle of September 14th or 15th, sound about right?
That sounds right.
All right. You went to Walmart, and we saw a video of an individual making purchases at Walmart. Was that you?
That was me.
Right? And you used a check from that checking account and signed it right there at the register,
Brilliant.
correct?
That's correct.
you
What
spit
did you-
on it too to put your DNA on it. We thank you for that.
You buy.
Oh, here we go.
I have a very long list of material, all different
He's desperate too. Desperate and hungry. What did he get?
kinds of odds and ends.
Watson ends.
All right, well, a lot of it was cigarettes, right?
Ah, damn
Cigarettes
it.
are very
I
expensive.
guess that does make me look a little shit.
A lot of
Yeah,
cigarettes.
they are.
You bought a pair
The government, right? Taxes? Guys, come on. Jury members. Any of you smoke? Can I get a not guilty out of one of you guys?
of blue tennis shoes.
Yep. Yes, ma'am, I did.
You bought zip ties.
Yes, I did.
You bought
Necessities?
duct tape.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
correct.
Uh-huh.
You bought a knife.
Oh,
I sure did.
Anything else you remember?
Tarp.
crowbar?
I believe food.
Couple power bars.
Food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe food. Couple of Twinkies.
So when you bought those, what were you planning to do?
Murder. Oh, sorry. What?
Why'd you need duct tape?
To hold my cupcakes to the inside of my backpack.
No, you
I
got
bought
duct
that
tape your
material-
shoes to your ankles. Remember what Spenny did? So they would.
Yeah, the homeless guy steal your shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, after he secures his cupcakes, he would secure anything that can be stolen by other homeless people. Even. Wrap his head to make sure his hat wasn't stolen.
Yep.
Because
Why'd you
I
buy
had
murder
a
kit?
plan
Oh.
in mind of how I was going to survive being
With murder kits. I was going to rob other homeless people and murder them. And P.S., along the way, too, he'll get to it, but he'll admit that, like, he wanted to kill Julio Dominguez, but settled for Jennifer Wolford. Why? TBD?
thrown on the street again
Like a dog.
for what? The third, or was it the fourth time?
You keep committing
by the
crimes.
government. Be it state or federal.
Oh, it'll
And-
definitely keep his shoes from
Yeah.
falling off. They won't fall, nor will they be stolen in the night as he sleeps. Or gets caught up in a sting and they take his laces.
You know, once you kick a dog enough times, they tend to bite back. And really, they just don't care anymore.
So tell us about your plan.
So you're just a dog.
My plan was to get some money and abscond.
It's gone from your probation.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
easy with those $8 words, Scott. I might ask you to define one.
anybody would after, I mean, I suffered to work my way up to the top of the
Suffered by
mountain.
suffering.
And this
Aye.
maniac comes and cuts it out from underneath me.
Maniac.
I mean,
Federal
what am I going to do?
maniac.
Go get another job? Let him do it again? No, we're going to fight back.
Hey, yeah, we're going to
Who's
fight
we?
back. What am I going to do? Let the government tell my employers of my legitimate criminal history? No, it's time to fight back against the defenseless nannies of rich people in the middle of the Everglades.
Yep.
All right.
He lit a firecracker. He lit a bomb.
Yeah, he kicked a dog, he lit a firecracker, and then lit a bomb. And then it bit him, it popped, and it exploded all at the same time. all over someone who had nothing to do, nor had any issues, nor was a menace to society. Hello.
He knew it too. And they laugh about it after.
I think he
That's
wanted
what
me to kill
corrections
Jennifer
does.
Wolfhard.
That's what the government does. That's all they've ever done
That's
to me.
sassy.
They've
Did-
turned me into an animal.
Do you know if Mr. Dominguez spoke? I mean, I'm assuming he was
He was on, yeah, like he's a totally normal, like, dude who was just like,
doing his job.
yeah, hello.
So Mr. Dominguez had you on probation out of Orlando, not Winter Park, right?
Yes, Ms. Burdick.
Right. And when you first moved to Orlando in May of that year, you actually lived in the city at a shelter?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Rachel, you just learned about Lauren Armstrong? Welcome to the club. I'm not a huge fan, but Jesus, I've known about him for 20 years.
Yeah, I had no choice. Yes, ma'am.
And you were there for about 60 days.
That's about accurate.
About accurate.
What
Taking
took
the
you
White
to Winter
Sox
Park?
game.
What took me to Winter Park? My
Murder.
employment.
All right.
That's where I was located. My employment brought me there.
So you were living in Winter Park?
Yes, I was.
Where?
On Forsyth Street.
With who?
By myself, but at the owner's 2-level garage on the bottom where he runs this paint business and painting company business. And the second floor is like a suite, refrigerators, stove, all that, you know.
Is this Mr. Estromera?
That would be correct.
Okay. So Mr. Estromera, out of the goodness of his heart, allowed you to stay on a property that he either owned or controlled.
That's half right.
All right.
Did he not own or
What's the
control?
other half? What half do you think is correct?
It wasn't the goodness of his heart.
So
it was.
you said this is Forsyth Road in Winter Park,
No closure on
Yes.
that anecdote?
right? That's not really anywhere near Park Avenue, is it?
No, but his painting business brings me in all areas of Winter Park
All right.
and
So
other.
I was painting something and I saw a totally innocent, helpless, elderly individual, and I decided to take them on a murder ride for essentially like $400.
Pounds.
So did you do any painting jobs on Park Avenue or near Park Avenue?
Not that I recall.
So what were you doing there? If we've already what
Yeah.
brings you there? Well, my work takes me everywhere. Did it bring you here? No. Well, shit, Scott. Why did you tell me that your work takes you everywhere if it didn't take you here?
Look, this is all just half right.
Miss Burdick, that'd be a caveat.
How about on Webster?
Not that I
A
recall.
dictionary?
So
So what were you
there's
doing
no
there?
reason for you to be in
There's
that
no
downtown
reason.
Winter Park area, whether it's to live or to work.
Or to
correct?
breathe.
I'm free to walk about the streets like any other citizen.
Right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Like, that's a great defense, right? Like, hey, what were you doing near the area where the victim was abducted and killed? I can be anywhere I want.
Yeah, as long as he's home at night to check in with
Maybe
his
you guys are
officer.
familiar with that Cyrus case where, like, he was a pizza delivery guy from Domino's who was, like, sexually harassing one of his coworkers and then, like, stalked a 10-year-old after they ordered a couple pizzas and, like,
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
a hug and, like, he had the same sort of excuse. He was like, the cops were like, well, what were you doing in the neighborhood of this 10-year-old girl who said you wanted a hug and stuff? And he's like, I got to be somewhere. I got to be somewhere. What?
Freedom to walk anywhere.
Yeah, we all have to exist somewhere, but typically you have reason to be there. Like, you know, I don't know if there's any more clear metaphor than like hanging out at a strange house with a 10-year-old, and then your only excuse for being there is you had to be somewhere. Like, you didn't have access to any streaming media platforms. Like, you didn't have, like, there was no snacks you could be enjoying or whatever. Like, there was nothing better to do. I got to be somewhere. And this 10-year-old, she had a bathroom, and I think I had to piss. I'm not even sure about that. I think I did.
Right. But aside from that, you had no reason to be there.
Is there any reason?
Yeah, I'll go with
murder.
that.
So rather than choosing this individual, Julio Dominguez, that you have a beef with, if you will,
Beefing it. Beefing ain't
you
easy.
decide that people who live in an area unconnected to you somehow need to be the target of your plan.
Does that make sense?
Is that accurate?
No.
How then did you end up targeting Jennifer Fulford and Reed Berman?
Good question.
The owner of the painting business, Mr. Estamera, had known Mr. Berman and had introduced me to a family, another family, and they had a beef with Mr. Berman. And their name, Reed Berman, and the location of that home came to light. I reported that to law enforcement.
Do you guys understand what he just said? I didn't even remember the question.
I don't either.
Who's this?
What are you doing there? Basically was the question. And he's like, Bo Berman was there, and I reported that to law enforcement. Okay, cool. That's another one where you're like, oh, so what do you think he did to get you fired?
Right.
Well, what I did was I went through all the little rigmaroles.
Who's his family?
I actually don't know the name of the family. I have been brought to their house by Mr. Estamera to paint.
Right? Where is the house?
Don't know.
I believe it's in what they call Lake Forest or Forest
It's what they call, how you say in English, Lake Forest.
How you
Lake,
say?
something of that nature.
And what is that
that
close
nature.
to?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area, ma'am. I'm being honest with everything I say to you.
Not
So
being
what
honest.
you're saying is
Just being
that
honest.
You don't have
this
Riz.
other person, who you don't know the name of now and don't know exactly where they lived, who is unconnected
Tell me,
to
Matt.
Julio Dominguez,
Totally unconnected. Yeah.
somehow led you to target Reed Berman.
That's fairly correct.
How? How can you say that?
Okay? So because of you don't know Reed Berman, right?
Never met the man.
And you don't
Oh
know,
boy, but I wanted to kill someone who was associated with him, not him himself, but like maybe, 2, 3, 4 steps removed. That'll show him.
or didn't know Jennifer Fulford.
No, I don't.
There was nothing that either one of them ever did to you that would have resulted in you taking some sort of revenge on them for, some moral cause.
I
Literally
believe the term
anything.
is collateral damage.
Collateral damage. Wouldn't that be great? Somebody you don't know gets fucked over by a system you have no familiarity with, and somehow it blows up in your face.
All right?
That would be
All
like
right.
like one of the wars taking place in Sudan. Like they accidentally mail you something and it blows up in your face. You go, whoops! Someone totally uninterested and unaffected by this in real life. Bloom! That's Jennifer Wolford. You know what? Hey, sorry, someone had to die. And I spun the wheel, got my Walmart kill kit, and that's where I ended up.
And here we are.
You're saying that Jennifer Fulford was collateral damage
Stupid.
as a result of your disliking Mr. Dominguez and how he treated you.
Well, I believe it's yes, but it's more accurate that he had a problem with me rather than I having a problem with him.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, yeah, but yeah, he had such a problem with you that he killed a woman. Wait
Yeah,
a minute.
right.
No.
And did you direct your concerns to Mr. Dominguez or his supervisor?
Well, once I got thrown on the street with no job and stuff, there was really no sense in.
Oh man, they didn't walk you from the prison into a Wendy's and help you fill out your application. They hold your hand and then cradle your dick at the urinal. Like you're a six felonies, 4 times behind bars.
Right.
Like and then after my 4th criminal charge, right? So my whatever, no longer a misdemeanor, now a felon am I. They wouldn't let me, I mean, what? Like, what are you expecting?
Complaining to anyone, what are they going to do?
So that's a no?
That would be a no.
Well, that's a definite no.
So instead of taking a normal course when you disagree with somebody,
Objection. What's normal? Objective.
you decided on something completely different
Demented.
to make your point, if you will, right?
Overrule the objection.
Relevance? It's exactly irrelevant. You were the dog that was kicked by someone up the road, so you ran down the road, crossed state lines, and shot someone over there. You weren't even you were a dog. You could have mauled them.
Ma'am,
Is that a yes or no?
Ms. Burdick?
Instead of taking a normal route to deal with somebody that you disagree with on a professional level,
I filled out all my Scantrons in jail. I notified everyone of my crimes, and here I am. What do I expect? Get nothing?
you took another route to make your point.
Yes and no.
May I suggest yes and no
God.
answers in an area that we're venturing is
May I
really
suggest?
like putting a gag in my mouth, because there's a lot more to just a yes and a no. But I'll go with the game here. Yes.
All right. So you think this is all game?
I'll go with the game here. This is all an expertly played game of cat and mouse, where like the cat like already ate 17 mice today, and the mouse has the trap on half of his head. It's smashed his front cortex, and he's just like spinning in a circle because he only has like the use of half his body. Yeah, very deft game of cat and mouse. Very give and take here, right, guys?
Well, I think what you're doing is trying to manipulate the real facts.
Now, I'm trying to make a point that you...
Now I'm willing to admit to it.
The question: did you kill her because you wanted to hurt what's his nuts? He's putting a gag in my mouth. Yes. Oh boy. Yes, he did.
It's me.
Okay, hold on. Madam Court Reporter cannot take down two people at once.
Sorry.
So
Yeah, she can't
Nelson,
do that.
unless your attorney has
She
an
can barely
objection,
type
you
in
wait
full
for my
words.
ruling, then you answer the question. Ms. Burdick,
He's a
if you believe
trailblazer.
The witness is being non-responsive. You need to make that objection.
Welcome, Rick.
Hey, Brick.
All right. So you're saying that I'm trying to now manipulate something. The point is, you had a problem with somebody completely unrelated to Jennifer Fulford and Reed Berman, and you made a plan in September of 2017 to take your anger toward that person out on somebody like Jennifer Fulford.
I think that's accurate.
All right.
All right.
What about all the like putting a gag in my mouth? Like, yeah. It's the same question 40 times, and now he finally shuts the fuck up and hears it, and he goes, yeah.
You know what? Yes.
Yes. Anything to add to that? I think it's accurate. Oh, fucking nailing it. Scott Nelson. You know why he never got life in prison?
Why not Mr. Dominguez?
Funny you should mention
Fun
that.
fact.
I happen to possess a 9mm handgun with 2 boxes of ammunition. They were in the house.
This is a great time to bring this stuff to you. Funny story. You know, I'm coming off as a real shitbag, but what I had planned to do was actually murder a man who was just doing his job. But then at least you could tie it logically together. Be like, this is the guy who wronged me, and I got him. It wasn't like, this is the guy who wronged me, and that's his wife, and this is her cousin, and that's someone who works with her cousin, and that's someone who doesn't know anyone involved, and I killed them. Yeah, fucking.
Relevance.
Okay.
Overrule the objection.
You can finish.
I happen to have that gun.
Let me finish.
I was going to shoot him.
Nice.
And I believe in God.
Jury? If I were the prosecutor, goddamn, I would like hold up a hand and be like, look over at the jury and be like,
Should I go on,
anyone?
Jerry?
Because God was looking out for Mr. Dominguez that Saturday afternoon. Because me and him were in a part of Winter Park on Forsyth Street where on Saturday afternoon, there was no one.
Julio Dominguez, such a shitbag, but God was looking out for him. Jennifer Wolforth, God was out taking a piss, possibly? Not good enough? What does that sound like? Julio Dominguez, the progenitor, if you will, the reason, the thorn in his side, the cause of his suffering, protected by God. Jennifer Wolford just doing her thing, watching the kid, making her money, living at her golden years. God's like, not this one. Can't do it.
And on Forsyth Street.
Is this Saturday afternoon before you killed Jennifer Fulford?
No. This was like a month prior.
Oh, yeah, Sarah Boone lived in Winter Park. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Before, okay. So you wanted to kill Mr.
Florida.
Dominguez, and you had the ability and the tools to
And
do
yet-
so, and you made a choice at that time not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailing it. God damn, man. Why did he even ask for a lawyer? He's fucking nailing it. Not guilty on all counts because of sick logic and even sicker burns.
He's very lucky.
All right. So, back to the point.
Man, autocorrect is just getting
Instead of
everybody
carrying
tonight.
out
Drunk,
that
Rachel?
plan, you formed a new
Everybody
one.
in the chat's drunk.
Yes.
Brick's drunk. Rachel's drunk.
And for some reason, you turned your attentions, if you will, to the people of Winter Park.
Why? Why?
But why?
Because you just didn't like the way they were treating you either.
From across their lawns, behind the walls of their houses, at their dinner tables, yes.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
All right, so
Yeah, nailed it.
Mr. Dominguez, you don't like the way
Hey, you know what, Mrs. Burdick? Thanks for taking that gag out of my mouth. You're asking things in such a way that it's like, yeah, I did it. Or no, I didn't. The end. Nailing
he's
it.
treating you. You think about killing him. You
All the time.
acquire the tools to do it and change your mind. So now, generally speaking, is you had formed a plan to kill Mr. Dominguez. You had acquired the tools to do that, and then you changed your mind. Yes?
No, I didn't. Never formed a plan to kill Mr. Dominguez. He walked into something and created a situation, and it made me give a certain thought into doing it, and the grace of God saved him.
What the fuck does that even mean? I get it. We got to the end of the rainbow. We're like, yeah, turns out I was too lazy or I was too stupid or whatever. I was too chicken shit. He wasn't a 68-year-old woman I could easily overpower. So I decided against it. Yeah, way to go. You're not only a scumfuck, you're a weak little coward. Classic Scott Nelson.
Define drunk.
So instead of
Not sober is a good
pursuing
word
that,
to
because
define
that's
that.
who you're true, I mean, that's the only statement you made on direct. So that's the true subject of your ire.
Yes.
Totally.
So
Nailed it.
instead of pursuing that, you now decide, because I don't like how these people in Winter Park are treating me, somebody here is going to pay for the fact that I have this level of anger towards this other individual who ultimately caused me to be thrown into these streets.
Does that make sense?
Compound.
I'll sustain the objection of the form.
I'll abstain.
Turned your attention to the people of Winter Park instead of pursuing the real subject, Mr. Dominguez.
Objection relevant.
I'll overrule that objection.
Yeah, it's a little bit relevant. Jeez.
No, ma'am.
So in September, when you went to the Walmart and acquired the knife
Yeah.
and the duct tape
Uh-huh.
and the zip ties.
The kill kit.
Remember the zip ties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never leave home without them.
Levity. I was gonna say. Levity. Great time to make a joke, right? Like, it's not only you, but like you're a comedian who's bombing and the room hates you. It's not just that. You're a comedian who's bombing, but you're not a comedian. You're still bombing, and everybody who hates you has the ability to send you away for the rest of your life. And you're like, hey, never leave home without my kill kit. Levity.
Thank you for that quote.
Levity.
Bingo. Levity. Never leave home without him. Levity.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
quote.
Jameson, he knows a good joke when he hears one. And the more you have to explain it, like by going, levity, after 30 seconds of silence, pretty good. It's pretty good.
You, at that point, formed a plan to use those items.
I mean, you
Right.
bought
Maybe
them.
you didn't have a particular target in mind on that date, correct?
Correct.
But you knew at least 2 weeks before Jennifer Fulford's murder that somebody was going to pay for how you've been treated.
Objection relevant.
The interesting thing about the idea of premeditation is if they can get you to admit that you thought about killing them a second before you did, they'll call that premeditated. Like whatever happens on appeal, they usually knock that down. But if it goes to trial, they'll nickel and dime you and needle you into being like, okay, so you got mad and right then you thought, I want to kill this dude, right? And if you go, yeah, right then I thought I wanted to do it, and they go, aha, premeditated.
Well, then that would mean that everything's premeditated, because like if you don't have the thought to do it and you do it, then there was a thought there, right?
And but that's the point of it. Like they try to pile on the charges and they try to get you to say, yes, at this point, before I killed them, I wanted to and thought about doing it. They go, aha, premeditation. Uh-huh. I mean, it depends from place to place. And like I said, again, it'll get knocked down on appeal. They're like a second degree, whatever. Sometimes the game gets like knocked down a manslaughter. That feels a little bit galling. But I don't know, whatever. Moving on.
Overruled.
That is very accurate.
All right. So to you, it didn't really matter?
Yeah, I'm sure she
Who
was getting
that was
alimony,
going to
which
be?
afforded her condo. Yeah.
Were you looking for targets
Yeah, Brian was paying for that shit.
for 2 weeks?
Yes.
All right. And those targets were in Winter Park because these were the people who had nice homes that you couldn't live in, never would live in.
I have lived in those type of homes. You'll see that during the
future?
mitigation.
During the mitigation? Who cares?
Who cares
Scott?
where you used to live?
I used to live in all kinds of fancy homes. Then I was living in a concrete shitbox after concrete shitbox for a long time. So I guess, maybe I shouldn't talk about it.
The situation in which you found yourself in 2017 led you to believe, I will never live in these homes. Correct? I will never drive these nice cars.
No, Miss Bird.
Hold on. I'm going to overrule the relevance.
Objection, relevance.
You're saying no, but do you remember the conversation that we played yesterday where you indicated to Brian Ferreira that these people in Winter Park, they
Well, I
don't
guess if
give
you
a
use my
crap
words against me.
about anybody who is not basically going to do something for them,
Now that is 100% correct.
okay? But instead of staying near Forsyth in Winter Park or going back downtown Orlando,
Right, that's the thing, Rachel, because like terrible people are often they probably never had those things, but like the shitty people that like the type of person Scott is, it'll always be I used to or I once or yada yada yada. There are two types of I guess the polarities of the desperate spectrum are like the people who used to have stuff but no longer and will never get it back, or the people who think they still have the time to get the stuff but they've never gotten it.
Okay.
It's like, oh, like Scott here. Like I used to live in all kinds of fancy houses, and then my life went down the drain because I'm a partial victim now, Julio Dominguez, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Or the people like the people who like peaked in high school and were supposed to make it big and never did, so they never got any of that stuff. But they know that like, Polk High, 4 touchdowns in a game, or like when that music label finds them or whatever, they go, oh, finally. They're both annoying.
you turned your attention and focus to people living
we all
in
know someone like
the
that, Brett.
wealthy sections of Winter Park. Accurate?
No.
No. Oh, damn.
So how'd you end up there?
Luck of the draw.
Random,
Luck of the draw.
Random.
all right?
Yeah, I put on a blindfold. I spun around at the bus station. I took 10 steps. After I stopped spinning, got on the bus, and there I was. Time to kill, I thought to myself.
Didn't you spend days there in Winter Park prior to this event?
I had no choice.
Right?
Didn't you?
Well, you had a bus
I had
pass.
to be somewhere, right? I had to exist. I had to be somewhere. Winter Park was a place to exist. I existed there. Case closed. I'm innocent.
You can get all over the county with the bus pass, right?
Actually, someone loaned that to me.
Well, you
What?
got it mid-September.
No.
Actually, someone had loaned that to me. But you had it because you took it and used it to get to Winter Park, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's say,
It
well, you
wasn't
had a
mine.
car, you could have gone anywhere you wanted to because you had that car. Well, the car was loaned to me. I don't care where the fuck it came from, bitch. You had it. You were using it.
Rachel says,
someone
I've
else
been
did.
on too many dates with guys who used to be really in shape and rich, allegedly.
That's the thing. They go, well, I have those stories now. I used to, like when I was going to the gym, I was like 175 pounds of, muscle. Now I'm walking around 140. I don't tell people that, except for in situations like this where you go, don't tell people that. Because then people look at you and you go, yeah, right. And they make this motion as you're walking away.
All right, and then gave it to you?
That'd be correct.
All right. But that's you getting on and off the bus that we saw, right?
I mean, I have to be somewhere, Miss Burdick.
I have to be somewhere,
somewhere.
Miss Burdick.
Right?
I wanted to go to Disney World, but I didn't have the money for that. I just had a bus pass, so I just went to Winter Park because I have to be somewhere.
And then just dump the body near Disney World.
Somewhere.
What's wrong with being in the same town I'm employed?
All right. But you chose this particular section of Winter Park.
Why?
I think the more we have Q&A here, the further and further we're getting away from the reality of the matter. You're not getting the real truth. You're getting some sided version of what you want to.
Refusing to answer?
Yeah, you're telling people that instead of taking my aggression out toward the people who I think wronged me, I hurt the innocent. And I think that's way off the beaten path of where we should be going in this case.
Answer the question.
Delineate. I didn't even know what question you're asking me.
Because you fucking talk too much.
Burdick.
This Q&A
asking
thing that
you
we
at
got
what
going on here
point-
is cute. This whole little Q&A, this Reddit AMA that we have going on, it's real swell.
You turned your attention to this section of Winter Park to exact your
We've
revenge
been circling
against
this right a
Julio
lot.
Dominguez. When did you decide that?
Decide what?
Ah.
That you were going to exact your revenge against Julio Dominguez, against somebody in Winter Park?
I would say the night before.
No,
Premeditated.
earlier than that?
Not a concrete decision, no.
All right.
I mean, sure, I bought a kill kit, but I could have killed anything. I could have killed time. I could have killed...
But you carried around with you the duct tape,
Uh-huh.
correct?
It was available to me.
It was available. Like, was it in my backpack? Was I carrying it around because I wanted to murder someone? No, it was available to me. I could have, like, you're in a video game in a post-apocalyptic world where, like, everything you pick up somehow fits in your jeans. It was available to me. I could have magicked it up. Could I have zip-tied someone? Sure. They were available. Did I? Yes.
Yes.
They were available.
I didn't carry it around. It wasn't like I had it,
Well, you told Detective Ferrer you would keep your stuff in the bushes,
I had to.
okay?
It had to be somewhere.
So
Yeah, and I couldn't carry it the whole time. That's heavy. What are you walking around carrying duct tape and zip ties and a knife? My back.
your duct tape and your zip ties and your knife were either on you or with your possessions,
Yes, available.
okay? Easily accessible to you the moment you decided to take action.
Yes.
And that moment came, according to what you told the detective and what you're saying today, the night before Jennifer Fulford died.
Yeah.
A funny thing.
A funny
Here's a
thing about
story.
Lake Wobegon, if you'll indulge me for another 45-minute burnout.
Happened in the course of
Oh,
the
God.
confession
Judge, he's unresponsive.
and interview there.
Debating question?
It was I asked quid pro quo.
No.
Okay? No, that's what I had.
Let me have you answer the
Now we're entering the quid pro quo section of this back and forth.
Does he say it more than once?
Oh, my God, does he ever. Take a drink every time he says quid pro.
I don't want to die.
Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo?
Yes.
He'll say it a lot. So, not for that. Like every jailhouse lawyer, me, anyone into true crime will tell you, like, they can't promise you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none. That does not change from municipality to municipality. It's not like they need to read your Miranda rights from a card. as opposed to just remembering it. They're non compos mentis, Rachel. So you can't. And that's what he's going to harp on for the longest time. He goes, look, I told them I would give them something if they get squid pro quo. Squid pro quo. Yeah, we did it all. And I don't know, man. It's like dealing with my 6-year-old where I go like, no, this is the reality of the situation. And he goes, nuh-uh. And how do you counter that to any competent degree when their whole entire argument is nuh-uh? There's nothing you can do.
The question, and then on redirect, your attorneys can ask you whatever they want.
I'll sustain the objection.
Sir, objection. She's woman-splaining to my, what's his name? What was it?
Stephen
My
McDaniels.
My client.
Give instructions to the witness.
Are you going to answer?
That's it.
Give me the question again. Lots going on here.
Is there?
Actually, no. Can the court reporter read back the question?
Not a whole lot, actually. I'm asking several questions, and you're saying, oh, funny story.
Back in
You're learning.
1983.
Mr. Nelson, Madam Court Reporter, can you read back?
I'm a simple man.
Mr. Nelson,
Shut up.
Shut up.
Madam Court Reporter needs to read back the question.
I'm a simple man. Simple kind of man. Skinner.
And that moment came, according to what you told the detective. And
I can't get her a lob mic or
I'm
something
not a
like at her desk.
microphone.
today, the night before Jennifer Crawford died.
Yes.
Okay. So it was then you began
Seven
to
Julia.
plan
Hello.
at least a home invasion.
That'd be correct.
A little home invading, see if I'd escalate it to murder, if it felt right.
And if something happened during the course of the home invasion, that would be what you referred to as collateral damage, correct?
Well,
I mean,
rule-
breaking and entering would also be collateral damage because it has nothing to do with the actual problem. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's collateral, but it's not even collateral.
the objection.
If something happened during the course of this planned home invasion,
Then what?
you would consider that to be collateral damage.
Yes.
Okay. So the goal
Like duct taping a woman's head up like a beehive. Would that be collateral damage?
of the home invasion was to get as much money as possible.
That'd be correct.
Banks
And
have
you
money.
chose, of course, the wealthy section of Winter Park because it's
Boone Acres,
Money.
they call it.
Yeah.
Walked on into Winter Park, stepped into the Boone Acres subdivision. You go, this place reeks of money.
stands to reason that
Right,
those
someone
are the
else's face is a
individuals that might have maybe a substantial amount of cash in their home.
As I was told, yes.
Like, this isn't the 60s anymore, guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe there are still crazy people out there who, like, sit on cash out of their mattress or whatever. But, like, they've got to be so few and far between. Don't roll them bones.
Maybe
Everybody's currency is digital.
probably not in 2017, but nowadays I think there are more people doing that.
I mean, even still, 2017, that feels like it doesn't feel like the Stone Age. Like the 90s is when, like, early 2000s is when people probably started throwing their money into like place. Like I know everybody's, 9/11 happened shortly thereafter the year 2000, and like people went insane. So maybe there are still a couple of weirdo holdouts, but who is going to? I don't know. It just feels like dealing with cash now. They make it such a hassle because everybody's like the bills you can use. The denomination is shrinking. Like some places I go to won't even accept 20s, and I go, what the fuck? Who's sitting on like just hundreds and being like, well, now who's going to take these? And you have to like,
Go
it's a
get a
huge
break.
pain in the ass.
All right, so you took that risk that you were going to enter a home hoping that you
But then that makes it even worse, Julia. If this gold buried in the yard, like trying to break 100's a pain in the ass. Like trying to like walk into a Walgreens and be like, well, I got a gold cougar in. Like, I need some NyQuil. Can you help me out? Like, this is worth roughly $2,400 as an ounce of gold. You got that in your register for change, bitch? It's not going to happen.
would hit the jackpot and end up with a lot of cash.
Herbs, right, Brick? I'm buying herbs.
And spices.
I understand. A lot of those herb shops only take cash.
right?
Yes.
Because you didn't really want jewelry or electronics, because you can't transport those things easily, right? You wanted cash.
Hell yeah.
Yes?
Cold,
Yes.
hard cash.
I love it. I love cash.
Now, one of the things you told the detectives was that you saw Jennifer Fulford at this residence the night before.
She had one of those cash guns and she was shooting hundreds into the air as everybody danced around.
True?
True.
With the young boy.
True.
The boy.
And the night before, you decided she was going to be your target. She was going to be the means by which you get yourself into Reed Berman's house.
That'd be correct.
That was 5 o'clock or so in the evening.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't have a watch.
I have no
was
idea
homeless.
what time it was.
I was suffering, Miss Burdick. I was suffering.
Daylight?
Daylight.
All right. I think you told the detectives you saw them in the driveway about 5 o'clock in the evening.
A lot of what I told the detectives was
Quid pro quo.
untrue. Because, if I may,
Please, dear God, please. If nothing else, you need to spend more time just going off on tangents.
a lot of what I told the detectives was untrue because we started off with a quid pro quo and they
Take a drink.
started weaseling out and playing their games and it started giving me a little enjoyment watching them squirm. Because some of the answers I gave them, the blood pizza, come on.
Come on, guys. You know, the blood pizza. Someone gonna die for this pizza. It's a blood pizza.
Mr. Yabo says this guy's such a drama queen. He never says he was evicted. He says he was thrown out in the street.
Yeah, it's like when you get fired and you call it laid off if you want.
Yeah. Brick says when I used to work in the furniture sales, a lot of the older Asian customers actually would store cash at their house and bring in wads of $100 bills. They didn't trust the banks.
Price of participation may vary. Cultural tickets get cashed in where they may. But moral of the story is by and large, my point is, walk down any street on any landmass on this planet. Do you think you're going to just luck into the person who's got 17 million cash money denominations under their mattress? Probably not, right? Probably not. Fuck. Look at Scott Nelson here.
That's a lot of inaccurate information I gave them because they weren't being forthcoming with my needs. They weren't trying
They
to.
weren't going to put me in a cell by myself. I had to shit with another man. And I told them if I, quid pro quo, the thing that you are literally can't do, it's outlined in every law in the land. I told them to do it for me and it wouldn't. And then to have the balls to be I was making them squirm and dance. And not for nothing. Hello, their whole job is talking to nut jobs like you who tell them horrible things or they see terrifying and gut-wrenching things and question the human spirit in any man. Mm-hmm. I was making him squirm. Yeah, Scott Nelson, master tactician here, working his way out of a life sentence, through plain riz alone. Yeah, I was making the detectives squirm. Blood pizza, and I bet they were going ooh, real Tales from the Crypt Keeper type bullshit.
Help me. They just wanted to squeeze me, so I just gave them a lot of BS back.
All right.
That showed them. They were squirming.
Right. So the whole process in court, talking to detectives, it's all a sham.
No, I wouldn't say it's all a sham. But they didn't get the real deal because they weren't giving me the real deal.
All right, so...
I say that for Bill McNeil and Bill McNeil alone.
Can I get the real deal now?
I lawyered up when I met him. I had no intention.
You were seeking a single cell.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you wanted from these detectives, right? A single cell, bottom bunk.
I think
you wanted a single cell.
Single cell.
You wanted to be in a science class. You wanted access to a single cell.
A single cell and a bottom bunk? Would it matter what bunk you were in if you were in a single cell?
Yeah, put one bunk in the middle.
I told you, we don't work here. We can't make you any promises.
And
You
even if
remember
they
that
did.
exchange? You don't remember that exchange?
No, that
You
never
wanted a hot
happened.
tub time machine,
Believe me,
Mr. Yabo.
Ferreira, he'd never say that.
Yeah, he wants to be a
Cut his
bottom.
tongue out before he'd ever say something like that to me. Oh, hell no. He sold me every dream to keep me talking.
Okay.
Hand language and all this, and
Hand language. He kept giving me his hand language. He sold me every dream, and he whizzed me out with the hand language. What are you doing, Scott? What? Blood pizza. Whoa, nice.
yeah, no, he was very manipulative. That's why.
Cops in interrogation rooms are typically not like that. Like the Reed technique is, it's not about manipulation at all. It's about friendship, more or less. Some cops want to be your friends. Other ones, just bad apple spoils the bunch, I guess.
That's why there's no video.
As were you.
No, I wrote a letter. I told him straight up, quid pro quo. Bring you help me, I'll help you. That's
You
it.
can't.
All right. Well,
Oh no, I mean
let's
that's
get
how
back-
detectives are. They squeeze you. They then they ba-boom. You get
balls.
nothing in the end.
Ba-boom.
I mean, it's what
Bada bing, bada boom. Your
Hey, yo.
antipasta's cold.
what you guys do. You're very
Does
good
that
at it.
mean that what you told him about killing Jennifer Fulford was untrue?
No, that is true.
Oh, phew.
So let's
good.
go back to how that occurred.
Julio Dominguez.
We're past that.
We're
Let's
past
get
that
back-
stage.
Past that stage, sir. How'd she die? Julio Dominguez. Next question. Nice.
To September 26th of 2017.
Julio
You're
Dominguez.
on foot, correct?
Yeah.
On the bus.
You have your duct tape and zip
Zip ties
ties
and
and
your
knife
knife.
with you?
What does this have to do with Julio Dominguez?
Nothing.
Literally nothing. He has nothing to do with this at all. You keep
past
bringing him
that.
up for some reason. You killed someone, and it has nothing to do with him.
Does he realize that he is on trial for him, not for Julio Dominguez?
No, the state it's Scott Nelson versus Julio Dominguez. Is in his mind.
I mean, if you want to sit here and talk to me and grill me for the next 3 hours, I'm not doing this. I came up here for one reason.
Julio Dominguez. I came up here for one reason, Julio Dominguez, and now I want to go sit down.
Julio Dominguez is the reason Jennifer Lynn Fulford died. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right.
If you wanted anything more, talk to my lawyers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your Honor, would the court direct Mr. Nelson to answer the questions of all attorneys, not just his lawyer?
Well,
And remind him this looks awesome to the jury, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
they love
looks
it.
Totally awesome to the jury, Your Honor.
Just wait till they
He
go
did.
all talk
My
about
memory's getting real foggy right now. I'm sorry. I must need my
Mr.
medication.
Nelson, don't speak when I'm speaking. Do you understand, sir? Do you understand, sir?
Piece
Yes.
of shit.
Mr. Burdick, ask a question. If there needs to be a pending question that he's refused to answer before I'll direct the witness.
Huh.
The night before,
Yes.
September
It's getting real foggy, Miss
it.
Barty.
Do my medication
26th.
all of a sudden.
of
I've
2017.
had head injuries.
You're on foot.
Yeah.
You have
Sure,
your
yeah,
knife
great.
with you.
No.
No duct tape.
No.
No zip ties.
That's not a good way to walk down the streets at night looking like Rambo.
All right.
Yeah, Rambo. Remember,
Rambo's got zip ties.
Rambo when he pulled out those zip ties and that duct tape and he fought the Viet Cong single-handedly as if they were an unruly, like, data cable room.
So you were just doing reconnaissance?
Yeah.
Quick recon.
Okay. So did you go onto the Berman property to see if you could get in furtively?
No.
Because your plan was you're going to force your way in,
No, the doorbell works better.
all right? So
Doorbell.
you're just going to go in the front door if you could make it in that way.
Anybody can. You ring the doorbell. She opened the door and let me in.
All right, but you didn't.
Anybody can. Everybody's got a doorbell. Just ring it. That's how you murder someone. Ding dong. Stab, stab, stab.
Do it that
Scott
night.
Nelson.
No.
But you chose Miss Fulford and that house. Finally, you made the final decision about it
Why?
that night.
Yes.
Did you stay in the neighborhood?
Yes.
Where'd
Were
you
you
stay?
eating good in the
Oh,
neighborhood?
I don't know. I can't even remember. It was so
Around
long
the
ago.
corner at this fountain?
I don't
whatever
recall.
You talked
My
about?
memory's
recall.
foggy.
Right. You,
Yeah, good news. You're murder proof, Brick. No doorbell, no murder.
There you go.
Park Golf Club?
That's why I got rid of mine.
Yep.
Yes.
Were you hanging around the house, waiting until
Where did you
Jennifer
go,
Fulford
lawyer?
appeared?
I was having health problems.
Were you hanging around the house waiting until
I have to
Jennifer
poop out of a
Fulford
bag.
I was having health problems. Well, you have to exist somewhere, Scott. Where were you existing when you were having those health problems? Come on, man. Flip that shit on him.
appeared?
No?
I don't
Yes.
recall.
Right. Well, at about 11:30 that morning, you're certainly within
You're right.
view of the front of Reed Berman's house, right?
I don't recall.
And you don't see the UPS or FedEx driver
Either
pull
one.
into the driveway with a package?
I don't recall.
What a snotty little bitch. Just sitting here like, I never recall.
I wonder if like attorneys, like especially prosecuting attorneys, need to take like a class in just like patience without like flipping the fuck out at these people.
I think if you're like, you understand nuance, you probably have no, like, I don't know. I'm of two minds. If I were in a situation where, because right now I'm annoyed, obviously, but if I were doing this professionally and there were 12 impartial humans sitting over in a box and they were watching all this along with me, I'd feel pretty okay about it. I wouldn't be like, why are you're ruining this for us both? No, he's ruining it for himself.
No, I get that, but it's still that like.
No, like I would take an like if I were a detective or a prosecutor, I would take an interrogation where they lie through their ass and act like a dumb shit. And this like 9 times out of 10, because you're already going to have all the real evidence that actually proves the case. And then if they're stupid enough to step into the box here and be like, I don't recall, it was Julio Dominguez, and that's my final answer. Like, yeah, slam dunk, bitch. Like, this is Florida. You're going away forever.
Do you see Ms. Fulford answer the door? Or do you?
Ma'am, I don't recall any of this. This is all getting foggy right now. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember any of this. I've had head injuries.
And now is the time for it to go foggy.
Did you force your way into the house with a knife?
I would say, I suggest that you look at the confession. I mean, the one that you played yesterday. That,
Did you force your way into the house?
I don't recall any of this stuff right now, ma'am.
Did you have a knife with you when you went into the house?
Ma'am, you better check the confession. I mean, what more do you want? I mean,
I hate him. He's a great guy, says Rachel.
Yeah.
He's great.
This part reminds me of the, oh God, Shonda Vander Ark section, where it's like,
you know exactly what I'm talking
about. Did you say this? If that's what the text said, if that's what the text said. Except this is, because Shonda, when she's like, if that's what the check, she doesn't want to say yes, but has to acknowledge reality. He's just being a spoiled, stomping foot little bitch. Like, yeah, whatever. Blame the parents or don't blame the parents. Be of whatever side of that fence you want to be. I blame the parents a lot of the time because, like, Scott Nelson here probably had a shit family life, was never taught to not be a victim. However, he like skated through life by just being a whiny little bitch. Like,
he grew up in New England. I don't know how bad he had it. I mean, in New Hampshire.
Good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. Like, he was missed by basically everybody because, like, that's part of it too. Is like when nobody was invested in him enough to be like, hey, here are the issues. Let's work on these.
Right.
They were just like, I've got to deal with you for the next 15 to 17 minutes, and then I'll never have to see you again, so I'll deal.
He's going to make lots of friends in prison.
Oh, for sure. God damn. Tons.
Did I make it easy enough? It wasn't great police work that got me here. I gave it all to you. Check the confession. You
The blood pizza, guys, remember?
got
When
it.
you told Brian Ferreira and
I
Sharon
gave
Wagner
it to you.
that
It wasn't catch me if you can. It was I'm waiting for you to catch me because I left a bunch of clues. Not as catchy a title, and it'll never make the theater circuit. But still, that's the Scott Nelson story.
forced your way into the Berman house at knife point. Was that correct?
Ma'am, I
Check the
really,
tapes.
I just don't recall.
Look at the jury. Look at the jury.
How long were you in the house?
38 minutes. Well, I don't recall.
I don't know. What is the security doors opening and closing? What do they say?
How long do you remember being in the house?
4 hours?
Huh.
All right.
Thanks
so
for that answer.
You had Jennifer Fulford zip tied on the ground in the
Oh, what do they say? How long did it feel like? 4 hours. He's playing hard to get, this Scott Nelson, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm going to dodge this question. What did it feel like? 4 hours. Whew.
I wonder how long it actually was.
Shit.
in the living room?
No.
Where?
I didn't zip tie her in the house.
Okay. How did you subdue her while you went upstairs?
She did what I said.
Okay. Did she go with you upstairs?
No.
So she just stayed downstairs while you went upstairs and
Basically,
looked
right.
in Reed Berman's bedroom
Yeah,
and didn't move?
that's right.
She didn't
Why
want to
did she
die,
move?
I know. Ask her.
but then she did. Oh, what a
Why did
douche.
she move?
I don't know. Because people do.
Threatened her?
Yes.
Right, because the kid she was watching was in there.
Right.
I can't imagine like a caretaker worth their salt, be they hourly or related, to be like, yeah, smell you later, bitch. And like as they walk up the stairs to go gut your child. No. Like, hello.
Did you threaten the child?
No. How could I? I didn't even know who the
How
child
could I?
was.
Yeah, I like that. I love that. I love that answer.
How
right?
could I?
It's like, hey, you killed this guy. We got evidence that you killed this guy. DNA and video. They go, how would I kill this man? I did not even know this man, they'll say. And that's the thing. The cops always have one loaded right there. Got one in the chamber. Whenever they say, hey, how can I kill this man? I did not know this man. They go, well, you don't have to know anybody to kill somebody. Swish. And they go, Pippin, a bunch of confetti blows, like red, like blue, white, and like gold confetti blows and fills the room. And the suspect goes, oh, damn, son, you got me. I'm a murderer.
Right. Now, she told you someone was coming to the house, right?
I don't recall.
And then you made her call that person back and say, don't come?
I don't recall. I can't remember everything. I mean, I'm not a computer.
I'm not a mind reader. I can't read my own memory. Ugh. I'm not a computer. Check out the new Apple Scott Nelson. Not a computer. In this image, he looks like in a B-grade horror movie where it's like an ensemble cast where they're all going to like an island surrounded by giant man-eating alligators or some bullshit. Like he would be the sleazy preacher who gets picked off within the first 1 to 3 deaths. Mm-hmm. Like he shows up and he's like, got the whole priest garb, but he keeps pulling out a flask and like gets sexually provocative toward like the female members of the party involved. And then he like gets eaten by a giant alligator, zombies consume him, or piranhas or some shit.
Yeah.
What a scum fuck. He didn't even deserve that.
All right, you remember wearing a white shirt, a towel around your neck, and a pair of shorts with the blue shoes?
I don't.
What are you looking to?
Can you tell me what you were wearing on the 27th of September?
There was a picture of it. Your Honor may approach.
With
A picture of the fucking thing, Your Honor?
Get with it, Your Honor.
Huh? What? Lady reporter, can you read that back?
Yeah.
S.N.
Yep. That would.
signature?
I
Did you put your
Nah.
signature on this?
I don't recall.
Is that you?
It sure looks like me. Yeah.
Is that you?
I mean, it looks like me.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently, kind of, sort of, allegedly,
Is that
suspiciously, yeah,
fucking
maybe.
you?
Take money out of Jennifer Fulford's bank account by forcing her to give you her PIN number?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Did you get $300 from Jennifer Fulford's bank account?
I'm sorry. I can't help
Because
you.
that's
I
the
just don't
maximum
remember all
amount an
this.
ATM will let you remove.
See, this is what I would kind of want, because like if I were like being lazy, I want the path of least resistance. And if I knew all of the things that were true and had already been proven in the case, like, because I'm sure they already showed the receipts for, like, getting the money out. They show him, like, because at this point, it's all been done.
Yeah.
And I would love just to, like, ask him all the things that have already been proven. And yeah, if he says, I don't recall, I would go, yes. We don't have to really dive into it. I don't have to ask him another 900 times, like, when did you decide to do it? When did you decide to do it? Like, on that night, why were you there? And when did you decide to do it? Like, I appreciate having to ask the same question 40 fucking times. So every potato on the jury who, somehow got picked for their charm and wit and good looks needs to understand. At this point, we can just go like, hey, did you do this? And you go, I remember. And she go, great. How about this? He goes, I remember. It's already been proven. You saw the exhibits. I would love this. Like, this is autopilot for a prosecutor, right? Fucking crazy.
Yeah,
What does the confession say?
Like, I couldn't tell you what I wore a couple days ago. And David and I were just talking about this. Like, some of these trials take years to get to trial. And then it's like, they're asking all these things again. And I'm like, I don't think I would remember.
Well,
and David's like, well, you would.
I've got a caveat here.
A caveat.
I've got a caveat because all of this would have been in discovery. Like, they took his clothes from him. They photographed him in his clothes. They photographed the clothes in situ on a little table with the ruler or whatever.
Well, yeah.
So he would be intimately familiar with this because he and his attorney would have gone over all this multiple times during the case. And that's the only reason why. Like, you or I know. You wouldn't know what color your underwear was, if it had skid marks or not. You wouldn't because you have no reason to. But if you were handed a collection of pictures of you wearing the clothes modeled on somebody else, the clothes spread out front, back, and every which way and photographed from every which angle and lighting position possible, you go, yeah, I remember it. Because then you'd have to.
Yeah.
There's no option.
I may approach with 188 evidence.
Go ahead.
May I slap him, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
See this signature near the image?
Yep.
Is that your signature?
But I don't know how it got there.
Is that you?
It looks like me, yes.
Is that
How the
you?
heck did it get there?
I can't definitively say. It's not a very clear photo.
Were you at the Wells Fargo ATM on September 27th of 2017?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Matt.
You look stressed.
He's obviously having a stroke. I don't recall.
You're welcome.
Madam. You look stressed, Ms. Burdick.
Yes?
See down there at the bottom?
I see down there, yes.
Is that your signature?
I don't know how it got there.
That's not what I asked. Is that your signature? It's a yes or no question. It's not a, do you know how I got there? No, I don't. Funny story.
Did you affix your signature to this photograph indicating that this was the bedroom that you had gone into on September 27th of 2017?
I don't remember doing that, ma'am.
Did you go in this bedroom?
I've never seen that bedroom before.
You didn't go into Reed Berman's bedroom and get the comforter off the bed so that you could put Jennifer Fulford in it so that you didn't...
So yeah, here comes the classic comforter. This is like one of the sticking points or one of the details that like this case is known for is like the whole comforter and how she ended up and yada yada. I've already spoiled it 40 times, so I won't do it again yet.
You didn't have to drag her out of the house kicking and screaming.
Reed Berman slept in that bed a couple nights and he didn't even know the comforter was missing. Maybe he took it. They didn't report it.
Did you take the comforter off of the bed so that you could wrap Jennifer Fulford in it because you wanted to conceal her from the outside?
No,
You didn't wrap her in the comforter.
I didn't do that.
Who did it?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Maybe she did.
What? She wrapped herself in the comforter?
Maybe she did, right? Nonsensical, mildly insulting to all of our intelligence, but then to follow it up with this zinger.
Maybe she was cold.
Say that last line again?
Wait for it.
I said maybe she was cold. I don't
On
know.
September 27th.
And then
How long have you lived in Florida?
I don't know. She ended up cold.
bingo.
Oh my.
He doubled down and
Lord.
then tripled down. And this is him fighting for his freedom. She was wrapped in a comforter when we found her. Her head was all wrapped in duct tape and she was tied up. Maybe she put it on herself. Maybe she was cold. It's in Florida. I know she ended up cold. Oh, damn. Was that zinger line delivered to Miss Burdick worth like the guaranteed life in prison without parole? And then I wonder if he's conscious about the jury being there because he's just looking at her, and I assume occasionally when he looked over to like the middle area of the camera was like to the other attorney.
Right.
Like, I wonder if he's making the conscious decision not to look at or engage with them, or if he's totally forgotten about them. Because, like, that would be the perfect time to look to them to be like, I know she ended up cold, and be like,
wink.
Guys, you know,
Anything?
wait for like applause or someone to like snicker.
Why'd you choose to drive all the way to Disney or the Disney area to take Mrs. Fulford out of the car?
I've never been to Disney.
All right, hamburger helper.
Disney area, Fulton Street. You weren't on Fulton Street on September 27th of 2017?
I was there.
That'd
You
be
drove
somewhere.
that car we were
as
just looking
established.
at from Winter Park all the way out. Did you go down I-4?
Ma'am, I'm not from Orlando. I don't even know what I-4 is.
You
Not
don't
be-
know what I...
Interstate 4. Hello.
I don't, ma'am. I'm
All
not
right.
from Orlando. I'm not from here. I don't have a vehicle.
Right? Okay, thank you, Brick, for addressing this. His hair is insane. During his interrogation, when he's got his like full-blown ponytail, it looks terrible. And this is so weird. It looks like a very bad like gorilla wig. Like it. Let me make it big again, or I'll get it nice and as big as I can. We can see like all of the little like flyaways and stuff. Like it won't sit down. Like it's too fine to be like real hair. It looks like some sort of chinchilla affair or something. It's very soft, but also coarse in a way.
Rachel thinks he looks great.
To each his own. But yeah, his hair is definitely an anomaly and feels halfway between like a Brillo pad / prickly pear cactus and like the soft white mold that develops on blueberries and raspberries and the like.
Oh yeah,
Like Hulk Hogan's hair almost, like delicate little soft blonde doll hair.
It's flocking. Hamburger says
Did
that
you
ponytail
drive
was evil, just like him.
Right? Oh my god, that ponytail was
Her in the back,
fucked.
all the way down to Disney to...
Oh, I bet Rachel says it's flocking. Maybe it's the Ronco hair in a can shit.
That's what
Thank you,
Matt
Hamburger.
was talking about.
Get
You're
rid of
so
her.
poetic.
Ronco.
At that point, you knew you were going to kill her. Right.
Is that two questions or one question?
Answer the first one. We'll get to the
I got the Scott Nelson Shea pet. Murderer.
second.
Did I drive? Yes, I did.
All the way down. Why there? What were you looking for?
I was looking for a place to dump her.
Great wording too, by the way. Like if I were on trial for my life, I was looking for a place to dump her.
Well, you know, because all of this happened because of Julio Dominguez, so he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Kill her. I wasn't gonna kill her, but I was looking to dump her somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually dump things that I
Blame Julio.
don't regard as garbage.
Get rid of her.
Okay.
Next question.
And so,
Next.
as you were driving,
Moving on.
you absolutely knew that you weren't just going to leave her in a remote area. You were going to kill her.
No. Now that you're wrong.
I was gonna dump her alive. with her head totally wrapped in duct tape, hoping she could breathe through her ass like some species of frogs.
About
So when you say get rid of her, you mean just drop her off?
Sure.
Well, yeah, that's what the zip ties were for.
Just drop her off somehow restrained.
Yes.
And hope that somebody fucking stumbles upon her ass out in the Everglades. Mm-hmm. Just like a jogger 2 weeks later. Oh, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, a guy left me here. He zip tied me, but thank God he left me alive. It's been 2 weeks. Can you help me up?
Hopefully a
She wouldn't be
crocodile
like a
doesn't get
dried
her.
out carcass or like just in the bottom of one of their local waterways as alligator shit.
If she died, so be it. If she died before somebody found her, so be it.
Meh.
That's a matter of opinion.
It's a matter of opinion, Ms. Burdick. It's collateral damage, Ms. Burdick. Whose opinion?
Julio.
This is a matter of opinion. I wouldn't say that. Would you say that? It's a matter of opinion.
Was that your thinking?
No, that sounds like it's your thinking.
No, what are you, some kind of sicko? Hey, whoa, hey, you guys, are you looking at the jury?
Should be her on for trial.
She sounds like she wants to murder someone, jury.
Okay.
Sounds like what you're thinking.
Okay.
Nailed it. No, I'm rubber. The classic "I'm rubber, you're glue" defense. I think expertly played.
While you're in this vehicle driving, you have your kit with you, if you will, of duct tape and zip ties and the knife. Because you said she wasn't duct taped in the car.
A lot of what I told those investigators, as the confession went on,
Just
minute-
answer the question
Yeah.
as asked, right?
Was she duct taped?
What did you have all your shit with you? Don't be like, well, when I was talking 7 months ago. Shut the fuck up, dude, bro.
by minute,
Bruh.
the more and more BS I would throw into it
So,
because they were giving me BS.
Back to the
and I was giving
question.
it right back to them.
Real
That's
Mamma
how
Mia
that interview
meatballs.
went.
Hand signs.
yeah,
And that's
real
the-
hand language, this guy.
Truth.
Right? The question is,
Absolutely, Rachel.
You
No one
had-
has ever met him and walked away going like, "Yeah, not a bad guy." Like, I hate that fucking guy.
this kit.
Wait, is
if you
Julio
will,
Dominguez related to
of-
Casey Anthony's nanny Zanidia
Zanaya
Fernandez?
Fernandez. Yeah. No, but no. Julio Dominguez is a real person. Like I know that there are some like it's not the Menendez like the mystery black dudes. Like Julio Dominguez was his
P.O.
PO. So like he does exist. This is just all a victim story. It's not like an Alf type situation or like what was the name of the rabbit from was it Happily Ever After, the WDB ripoff of Married with Children with the rabbit?
Of zip ties and duct tape and the knife. Right?
Knife.
Yes.
And as you
That's a
were
knife.
traveling, because it's a good, do you remember how long
It's
it
a
took?
good.
I have
That
no
time of
idea.
day?
Check the, I don't know.
Probably an hour?
I don't know. Check the cell towers.
Check my
You were
pinging.
there.
I don't know.
You think it was an hour?
I don't know. I'm not good at keeping track of time.
All right.
I've had head injuries.
So you first go down an area closer to, you said you saw Disney signs, an area closer to them. Did you make a decision that this wouldn't be the right place?
I wanted to turn the happiest place on earth to the crappiest place on earth. And the only way I knew how to do that was with a dead body, which I didn't have yet because I wasn't sure I was going to kill her. Just going to dump her.
To get rid of Mrs. Fulford?
What do you mean by get rid of?
Kill her?
No.
Drop her off?
I had no
duct
intent-
tape and zip tie her?
Miss Burdick, I really think you have this all wrong. I never intended to kill that woman.
Oh, it's a big misunderstanding. Whoopsie daisy. Did anyone make you to find her?
It was not in my heart to do that. It wasn't what I
Don't
had
put that on my heart. Don't put that on me.
planned. I didn't want to kill that woman. She'd never done anything to me.
Right. So you drove
Rob.
her, though, all the way to Disney in the back of her vehicle for a purpose.
Right?
Yes.
It
To
wasn't
dump
just
her?
for no reason, correct?
Yeah, you're right.
We're not here for any reason.
And you were searching for places to leave her.
Yes.
So then you find what you think, even though it's the middle of the day, is a relatively remote area, right?
Yes.
Cool,
And
cool.
did you park the car
Jazzle dazzle.
on the dirt road?
Yes.
Did you pull into the field at all?
No.
Stayed on the dirt road.
Yes.
So you get out, and do you go to the
You
back?
guys remember, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes ago when he's like, I don't remember. My memory's getting foggy. that charade didn't last long. Here's the thing. Commitment to a bit. I talk about it a lot. Whether you're going to a Comic-Con or a Halloween party or, like, whatever, you're getting into a character for something, get into the bit and live in it. Don't do it for a few minutes, then drop it, because then no one will take you seriously, and they know your defenses are weak.
Back and open up the hatch,
Yes.
and she is in the back, wrapped in the comforter.
I don't recall, ma'am.
Possibly wrapped by herself because she was cold.
What do you say to her? Get out?
Ma'am, you're asking for specifics.
Ma'am.
I really, honestly, legitimately, truthfully, from my heart, I do not remember.
And the lie detector determined that was a lie. Every qualifier, whatever, like, you guys are the true crimes. So, you know, when someone goes like, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth, or I'm going to keep it 100, whatever thing they say right before they tell you something, the thing they're about to tell you is a lie. So when they use like 9 synonyms, do you think that snowball's chance in hell? Who would you take over under on?
I don't remember all those facts.
So you don't remember how Jennifer Fulford got out of the car?
We were picking a jury a few days ago. I can't remember some of that. And you want, this is 2 years ago.
The question was, you don't remember how Jennifer Fulford got out
Definitely. If he starts with ma'am, or if he goes, when I
of the car?
There's something wrong with my brain.
head
Did
injuries.
you have her duct taped at the ankles and zip tied behind her back while she was in the car?
I don't know. Check the medical examiner's report. They can't determine either.
Right. Well, you're the one who
So then why would I check it, Scott? Did you do that? I don't know. Check the medical examiner's report. They don't know. Me neither. I guess that's the point. I don't know. Neither of us know. Swish. One for Scott. Man, the jury must be eating this up. He's thinking to himself.
put the duct tape on the ankles, no question, right?
I don't know.
You're the one that put the zip
Who else
ties
would've?
on her wrists.
I don't know.
You're the one who dropped the zip tie at the tree line, right?
I don't know. You want the truth? I'll give you the truth.
You can't handle it,
So
but I'll
help me
give it to
God,
you.
I don't remember. I can't remember everything. There's something wrong with my brain.
He's probably thinking like, yeah, the jury's getting something wrong with my brain, guys. Man, you guys have been there. I don't know. I can't remember. There's something wrong with my brain.
So when you open up the back of this hatch to the Hyundai, she's making a lot of noise, pleading for her life. You have to remember that.
I heard it yesterday. Where did I hear it? Oh, I heard it on the recording of the confession. How can you give out sheets of paper and tell them not to, whatever. But anyway.
You have to remember
yeah.
her begging for her life.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, I should really shorten that there for a second. What do you think he was talking about? I've watched this a few times. I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
All right. So you remembered that in November of 2017 and told that to the detectives, but you can't remember it now.
It's been 2 years.
Okay.
Lots happened
Come
in 2
on,
years.
Judge.
I've been abused a lot.
It's been 2 years and the dog ate my homework. You got to give me a break.
We all get abused, don't we?
All right. And
I get kicked like a dog, and so I bit
have to
someone
remember that
uninitiated.
Jennifer was crying.
No, I don't. I don't remember that. No, she wasn't.
Meh,
Begging you not
probably
to kill her.
I don't remember.
That she continued to get louder and louder, so you decided to duct tape her whole head. Not just her mouth, not just her eyes, her whole head.
Which one?
Any objection to the form?
Ma'am, Miss Burdick,
I sustain the objection, Mr. Newman.
Are you saying you don't remember?
I don't remember, ma'am.
Okay.
Did you,
See, that's the kind of answer I want because at this point he's already mentioned they watched the interrogation footage where he already says
Right.
all of this stuff, and I'm sure they've had the coroner come up and be like, yeah, fucking duct tape all over her head and shit, zip ties, the whole nine, and then him go like, yep, don't remember. Like, yeah, I would love as a prosecuting attorney to be like, yes, no more questions needed.
carry Jennifer Fulford from the
Burdick.
back of the car through that patch of trees and vines to the open field? Or did you have her walk under her own power?
I think what was going on, ma'am, was that at that point, I was not in the right state of mind.
Because of the head injuries. I've had head injuries. And at that point, I was in the right state of mind. So, what was the question?
Where am I?
And when I get to that point, like when
Ma'am?
corrections abuses you
Ah.
or does things to you, it gets me in that state of mind where, you know,
The question was, did she go to the place that you killed her at under her own power? When corrections abuses you and does so much to you? Yes or no? Were her legs moving? Were her legs under her body? Yes or no? Yeah? No? Ma'am? In prison?
that you just can't see things clearly and you just don't understand things. And you do things that you really don't want to do or understand why you do them.
So her legs under her?
And that's where
So the question
25
was,
years in custody has brought me.
She walked to her own death?
So
I've been
the
through horrible
pending
experiences.
question
Here we go.
is,
Reset.
did Jennifer Fulford get out of that car under her own power, meaning did she walk? Or did you carry her?
I'm sorry, I can't give you.
All right, because you recall being ripped up by the briars that were in that patch of woods, right?
I think she was fighting or something. And we had,
I think she was fighting or something. Yeah, the victim of my murder, as I was taking her to the place where I was doing a murder, was fighting me a little bit. Like she was against the whole situation.
ended up getting
Ms. Burdick.
yeah.
You remember being ripped up
yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
by the...
Yeah.
I remember
Of
that.
course I remember that. Me getting hurt? Yeah. Woof, man, I had it bad. How
Like
did
it
she
was
do?
yesterday.
I don't know, maybe she was fighting over there somewhere. I was getting ripped to shit by the briars. Ah! Ooh. Yeah, I was the real victim in that situation, you guys.
That's what, we saw those pictures taken of you.
Yeah, I saw
on
them
October
yesterday.
1st.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
remember
Oh, I
those
remember
injuries?
that.
Yes.
All right,
Saw that
to
yesterday.
the exposed parts of your skin, because you had shorts on,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yeah.
And so you walk through there, you get scraped up.
Dress appropriately, guys. Like anywhere you go, just like you may get caught off guard someplace. Closed-toed shoes, something that like you can swap into. I don't know, throw something in the back of your car, like a pair of pants, like
and also put things in the back of your husband and or wife's car, because if you don't know where you're going, I mean, you got to have a full set of new clothes
You gotta
and
be an adult about this.
shoes.
You gotta do it yourself. DIY. Do it yourself. Get some like socks, underwear, shorts and or pants. I recommend pants because what are you, 12? T-shirt, not for nothing. Like, will you need it ever? Maybe not. But if you do, will you be happy as hell you have it? Hell yeah, you will.
Did she
Sturdy
walk,
shoes in your kill kit.
or did you carry her?
Get us some, New Balance, Publix, Walmart, all the places that and things that should be associated with murders. Good traction in those New Balances.
She walked, ma'am.
All right. So her ankles were not duct taped until you got her into the open field.
I'm sorry. I can't remember everything. I'm being as helpful as I can for you, but I
No,
don't
you're not.
She walked, but I don't know. Did it happen after that? I don't know. Maybe it happened before.
She just
I
hopped.
undid them and then did them again later. We don't know. It's one of science's greatest questions.
Was her head duct taped, or her eyes or her mouth duct taped as you got her into the open field?
I don't remember.
Meaning, could she see where she was?
I don't know.
Did she start yelling?
I don't remember.
All right. So,
God, like, what are the odds that if like they pan over to the jury box, like not showing the faces, like maintaining the anonymity of the people, but like you see like a camera just pass over them from above, and like how many of them do you think would be like wringing rags, and bits of paper, like they want to strangle this motherfucker? And he must be sitting there thinking like, "Yep, nailing it, Scott, fucking nailing it." You're going home after this. It's been a long and bumpy ride. But you're
Julio's
doing so
gonna
good.
get fired.
Get ready to go home.
while you're out there, you decide she's going to testify against you.
Well,
If she gets out of here, she's going to testify against me, right?
Probably.
And
that's something that was said during the interview. That was towards the very end, and I was doing it because I was getting some.
Right, Brick, you know what I'm talking about. Just cover your own ass, people.
Really good visuals from Detective Wagner. She was like, she was, you know, and I started, they were jerking me, so I gave it back to them.
I jerked it back.
A lot of that
jerking
was
it
just, you know, just to watch, amuse myself and watch her.
Seriously.
Really objecting.
you were trying to make Detective Wagner squirm? Was that your goal?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, she was a bitch.
I mean, you know,
Aside from whatever
This is
tactics you were using on Detective Wagner, could you tell us if Jennifer Fulford
Circle
had
jerseys.
duct tape over her eyes as you walked her out to the field?
she did not.
So she could see where she was.
That's correct.
And she started
Wow, how'd you remember that?
screaming.
I can't remember.
Dang.
Would you agree that she was terrified?
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, ma'am, she has like, I don't know how many stab wounds on her body and stuff. And I'm going to look at
It's a cool thing to bring up. That's a cool thing to bring up. Like the woman you murdered, who they know, like you admitted to killing her like so many times already. Now you're being obtuse about this or that. Like, yeah, honestly, she had so many stab wounds. Like, the question was like, were her eyes open? Like, was she looking around? You're like, she was covered in so many stab wounds. I was just like, I don't know. Could she see it? Was she looking around? She had so many stab wounds on her. I lost track of time. The fuck?
look you in the eye, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't remember doing all that.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Not guilty.
pending
All right.
question was,
Not guilty by reason of amnesia.
did she appear to you to be terrified?
Sure.
Been asked and answered.
I'll overrule the objection.
He's never answered.
no.
I mean, I'm sure she wasn't happy.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, how, you know,
Screaming?
no.
Whispering
Begging
hoarsely.
you not to kill her?
No.
You've had a knife this whole
struggling
time, right?
is-
That knife we saw? That green and black knife?
How are you supposed to carry someone and carry a knife at the same time? Or how are you supposed to?
I mean, there are many ways, Scott.
Pockets.
Fucking idiot. Like, you ever had to carry like a fork and a bag of rice before? Like,
I mean,
Was it in your pocket?
oh yeah,
I
pockets.
think I left it in the vehicle. And then I had to go back and get it, I guess.
All right, so she's
you're an
out in the
idiot.
field, and you
Be right back. Just booking it through the woods.
have her duct taped and zip tied, face down, and then you need to eliminate her as a witness.
Ma'am, that was something I said to Miss Wagner to get her ire. At that point, that was deep into the confession pseudo.
We were deep.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
what did you
asking-
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
do?
I'm asking
sorry.
you
Yes, ma'am.
a direct question about, you were out in the field. Tell us, did you have her face down, bound, while you went and got your knife?
John, can we approach?
Yes?
Boy, can we? Cut.
I do not recall, ma'am. I don't remember.
Damn it.
I was in a different world at that point.
I was living single, Your Honor.
Now, she stabbed on her back and on her chest, on the front of her chest.
What I've seen
Okay.
from the medical examiner, yes.
Well, it's amazing what he can and can't remember of the things that obviously took place within the preceding days. Not weeks, not months, not years, but days, right? Don't remember. Nope, don't remember.
Which did you do first?
Ma'am, I don't
Ma'am?
remember.
Ma'am? Front or back? Ma'am? Ma'am? I don't know.
At some point, did you have to turn her over
Obviously. Ma'am?
one way or another to
Wow,
complete?
Sarah Boone's suitcase. So you can't get in like this. So I flipped it. I didn't want it to be like that.
The paperclip.
What you had brought her there for?
Ma'am,
Ma'am?
I did never brought her anywhere to
God damn it, Brick. Now that you've brought that up, like, it's all I can hear now. And I've watched this like 40 times.
kill her. That's something you're trying to
Why'd you put her in the field?
Should I have dropped her off in front
Ma'am.
of OPD?
Yeah.
Why'd you put her in the field?
Like a hospital?
Ask and answer.
He,
Overruled.
To leave her there. Not to kill her, to leave her there.
to leave her there.
Then why'd you kill her?
Why did you bind her hands behind her back?
Good question.
I would imagine so that she couldn't leave.
I would imagine. I'm imagining it. I mean, I did it. I'm the guy who did it. I duct taped her ass.
Hi,
But
that's
I would
me.
imagine. I'm imagining.
Why did you bind her feet with duct tape?
Imagined for
I
us.
imagine so she wouldn't walk away.
And why did you wrap her entire head in the duct tape?
I imagine so that she would be deprived of oxygen and die. I imagine.
Probably so she couldn't scream.
Probably.
Why did you wrap it so tightly that she couldn't breathe?
I didn't do it that tightly.
Who did? Did someone come along after you see a woman like
Julio.
loosely wrapped in duct tape? He was just a little more psychotic than you. He unwrapped and then rewrapped the head tighter? Mm-hmm. What are the odds? They don't exist.
So
It
you,
wasn't my intent.
Not
but your
intentional.
intent clearly was
To subdue.
leave a
subdue.
bound
To neutralize my target and get her debit card so I can get that sweet $300.
woman in the middle of nowhere and then
Identify
go
as
back
subduer.
to Mr. Berman's house and maybe hold him hostage to see if you can get some money out of him.
I mean, you see how the day goes. Sometimes you get big plans, right? You go 2 hostage situations in one day. Maybe we'll end one or both in a murder. After the first one's done, you go, do I have the energy for a second sometimes? And, got to be honest with yourself. Sometimes I don't.
Oh, I would have.
Well, that was part of your plan, right?
Yes, but not to hurt that woman.
How did it happen?
And I didn't
then?
leave her in the middle of nowhere. There was a house within walking distance. It was
I mean, if she were alive and could walk, like if her head wasn't duct tape and her arms and her legs weren't duct tape, she could have walked there. Again, if she were alive, she was dead.
a couple hundred
She
feet.
could
There
have
was a
made
Why
it.
home.
don't you just leave her at the house?
Oh, that would have been kind of foolish, wouldn't it? Why didn't I just give her a cell phone?
Right.
Right.
They
yeah,
were just
exactly.
planning to leave her somewhere.
You lived at 30 feet from a house instead of right on the house's property. Now, that'd be foolish. What? Yeah, I couldn't just leave her on the front porch. I pulled it back about 30 yards off to the left, and I go, this sound decision making, Scott Nelson. I won't give you a cell phone, but I will leave you on the grassy knoll.
You were planning to get rid of her,
No.
correct?
I used that word. I
Yeah,
used
Brick, she could have rolled to the house if she wasn't stabbed. Yeah, totally.
that.
I'm going to sustain the objection to ask and answer. That particular.
All right, you said you used those words.
Yeah, to get rid of. Yeah, but not to kill.
To
So
dump.
your interpretation is just,
Your interpretation of rid and kill is the same thing. Mine's different.
I'm asking you, your interpretation of getting rid of her is simply to leave her there in the state we've described.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. But get rid of her.
Perfect.
Not to kill her, but to leave her duct tape at the wrists and ankles and totally around her head.
Yep.
I wouldn't harm a fly.
So after this happened, you took her car and drove to the Publix.
Of course
Correct.
he did.
There it is. Public.
Yeah, I've
Met
seen
with Gran Amato. Met, Jorge
Sarah
was
Boone.
buying his bottle.
Yeah.
the photos of me going in.
Gran
and out.
Amato was on Wi-Fi trying to get a job interview.
You changed clothes in the car, right?
I have no idea. Just try for a moment. Try to put yourself in my situation at that
No.
point. I mean, would you remember any of this? And you don't have it.
Presumably, that's how the human body works, right? Like the more emotionally jarring, either in a positive or negative way, it's going to imprint on you. That's how memories are formed, either by repetition or by initial impression. And so, yeah, if I duct taped a woman and drove her out to the Everglades and dropped her out 30 yards from a house or on the front porch of a house like a basket of kittens or whatever, yeah, I number one, I would be like, what the fuck am I doing? But number two, I would probably remember it all because that seems like horrifyingly traumatic shit, right? You wouldn't just go like, I don't know, what were you doing that night? I can't remember if I had a tuna sandwich or egg salad. And there's a body in the trunk. Jesus Christ, man.
You haven't had hand injuries. You don't have psych meds. You don't have all these
Allegedly.
problems.
Not that we know of.
You wouldn't have remembered. How am I?
Your answer is you don't remember if you changed your clothes in the car?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have blood on you?
Do I remember this? Do I remember?
I don't know.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
remember.
You don't
Bingo.
remember Jennifer Fulford's blood on you?
Well, you stabbed her a fuck ton of times on her front and back side. You think you got out of that clean as a whistle?
No.
But you went into the Publix for the purpose of cleaning up,
On Wi-Fi.
right?
I would say yes.
I would say yes.
Put a new shirt on,
Right.
put the hat on, the UCF hat that you bought at the Walmart,
Sure.
put that on.
Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah, I'm a
And,
huge UCF fan.
Went across the street, put the keys in that bush, and
That you would never have found without me.
jumped.
Yeah,
by the way.
these guys, you got that? Believe that, guys? Never would have found those keys without me. Huh. Like, they had the body and, like, all the evidence in the world.
Who cares about the keys?
Like, when you're making a Dagwood sandwich and it's, like, 90 ingredients tall, and, like, the one person is like, well, it's a good thing I brought the deviled olives. You go, huh. Eat my ass. Like, are you kidding me?
Right. And
Right.
jumped on the bus. Took the bus down to.
Making a break
right
for
down
it.
here, right? The Link Central Station, and headed back to Winter Park to see if you can get some more money.
How, though?
Yeah.
Another
Oh, he
murder.
remembers that. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because you still had the ATM card, Jennifer Fulford's ATM card, right? You didn't leave that in the car. You didn't leave that in the field. You kept the ATM card.
No.
Remember that?
Well, I mean,
Ma'am?
no, I didn't bring them there. I left those in the area of the bank.
What?
All right.
They never came down with me.
So you went and retrieved them and went back to that ATM to see if you'd get more money.
Yes, ma'am.
So you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember going to the train station,
access.
buying the ticket,
In and out, like bits and pieces.
and then you remember going to the 7-Eleven,
Yep, that's how sex works. You in and out, just bits and pieces.
buying this pizza.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
That was good
And then
pizza.
you
Hell yeah.
talked, of course, to the detective.
Domino's in it. Turns out they never had a stuffed crust, and I was excited because I go, didn't I have that? They go, no. It's our first time. I'm Scott Nelson, I told them. I shook their hands, blood all over them.
Detectives about how much you enjoyed it, because somebody
Well-
had to die for you to get that.
And yeah, Mr. Detective
Yeah,
Wagner.
you're right.
Joke. I was pretty funny, right? Can I get a high five, Mrs. Burdick? Come on, Your Honor, may she approach to high five me?
Is losing it
Court
at this
reporter?
point, so that's why I, because I mean they're jerking me around, they're playing games
Gotcha.
with
They're
me, and I'm
jerking
just
me
giving it
around.
right
It's
back.
giving me the
That's what
squeeze.
that interview was about.
Look at him.
You know.
You can't quit cupping imaginary dicks and balls every time he talks about the detectives. They were jerking me around and squeezing me hard. What the fuck, Scott?
And old Ferrari's giving the hand signals, oh, I got you, boy, I got you. We'll take care of them conditions for you, and all that. Of course, he'll never admit to that.
It turns out he's not a practitioner of ASL. It wasn't even a language. He just moves his hands around a lot when he talks. Imagine my embarrassment.
All right. So what you told them, though, about going and getting that pizza and having the thought that somebody had to die for me to get this pizza.
Well, in all reality, that is true. I mean, it is true.
Let's cut the crap, Miss Burdick. Yeah, cool fact, yes. Actual fact, also yes, and a lot, right? So yeah, it is a fact. As cool as it may be, right? Like Need for Speed, cool movie series, yes. A movie series, fact, also yes, right?
It's sad, but it's true.
So once you get to the bus
Favorite Metallica
station, and then, the train station, and go to the 7-Eleven.
It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, if only I had stabbed her 40 times. Whoops.
He could have gotten the money without killing her.
No, that's how would he have done that, right? He already duct taped her head and marched her out the middle of the field and all this sort of shit.
He already had the $300.
Sad but true. Yep.
You lose the UCF hat. Where'd you put it?
Oh, man.
At that point, did you make a decision to
Steal another one.
appear on as many cameras as you could?
This part's funny.
To make it a point. I wouldn't think so.
Well, you took the hat
I mean,
off.
I imagine or I wouldn't think so. Do I know or not? It's not me who you're asking, right? Hello?
And you're standing in front of the cameras at the 7-Eleven, at the train station. Once you get to the train station in Jacksonville, you're just standing there.
Waving.
Is that part of this taunting of law enforcement that you've talked about?
Remember the cat and mouse analogy from
I
earlier?
wouldn't think so. I mean, is it against the law to stand somewhere?
I'm asking a question.
I got to exist somewhere, Miss Burdick. I got to exist under cameras sometime.
Did you make a conscious decision to stand in front of the cameras to taunt law
Easiest yes or no,
enforcement? Basically,
like-
see if you can catch me.
No. I think that's something you're drumming up.
Yeah, there's a trumped up charge. of this.
Drumming it up, ma'am.
First degree flaunting law enforcement via CCTV. It's a E-class misdemeanor.
Now, once you got to Jacksonville,
Then what?
and then ultimately were located by
A Boy Scout
the
troop.
authorities up there,
It would take a scientist to figure out where I was. I mean,
I was on camera.
A scientist would have no desire nor even merit in this situation. Let the police have all the resources to find a criminal. If you put a scientist on the case, they wouldn't know where to start. So yeah, Scott. Of course, yeah. Put a scientist on it. It would probably take a dozen scientists.
use my real ID to take a train out of Winter Park to Jacksonville. Notice
a pizza with
I
it?
didn't cross the line. I stayed within the,
Hand language, guys.
I
This guy's Illuminati confirmed.
allowed them to catch me. I
I
allowed
wanted them to.
Catch me when you
Which
will.
is
Remember my
why
movie pitch.
you put your face on all those cameras.
No, no,
Because
no, that's not
this
true.
entire,
So that was just you being stupid? Like, what's up with that?
Yes.
Not allowing the witness to.
I'll sustain the objection, Ms. Burdick, unless you have a non-responsive objection. You need to let the witness finish.
you said no, right?
I never walked around putting my face in cameras that this whole world is full of nowadays. There's cameras everywhere. So I don't care where you stand anywhere. You're going to be on a camera
Nowadays.
somewhere. No. That
Scott Nelson, boomer murderer. Nowadays, you can't spin a dead cat around your head without being caught on some sort of camera.
It wasn't my intention.
Well,
I ended up in Jacksonville because I just jumped on a train. I said, what was the next train out of? He said, we got one to Jacksonville, and that's where I went. I didn't go off.
How often do you think that happens? Like, have the movies led us astray? Obviously, no one, like, it's not having any movies anymore, right? Like, talk about if you're an old person. I've seen a million movies, it feels like, where either the character is like running from a situation and they get on a train or a bus and they go, what's the next train out of here? What's the next bus out of here? And they go, well, I got the bloggity bling blah to Santa Fe, 3 blobbity bloop. And they go, I want to go.
I'll
Does
take
that
it.
happen a lot in real life? Like these, like all those people with their little tiny hats, their little conductor hats and shit, sitting by their cute little desks or whatever. You think, like, how many times, like out of 10, is someone like, what's the next train out of here? Do they think they hear? Or it's like mostly just people like, yeah, can I get here's my ticket already. I printed it at home.
I don't know. I don't know about.
How many people are running away from home in present day?
The only places that I've seen like people working at a train station was in Grand Central in New York. But like outside of that, when I took the train to school, it was all just a machine. It was like a big ATM.
Well, that
at the
doesn't
thing.
help, because how are you going to be like crying and wanting to tell your exposition to somebody if it's just like one of those robots?
You gotta do it at a big station then.
Those like weird interstellar robots. Those at least have voices.
These don't have
Go
voices.
off into Georgia or any other part of the country when I had money to do that.
Just
So
a
obviously I
midnight
didn't
train
abscond.
going
I know about jurisdiction. I
anywhere.
know about police investigation. I know a lot. So it's where I ended up. But I also know that how a fugitive task force works, a CAT team, criminal apprehension team. I know how these things work. 25 years in
expert.
federal custody, you learn a few things, especially sitting in the law libraries 24 hours
What
a day.
did he do? What did he do?
What did he do? He sat in the law library 24 hours a day.
No, why was he
All of
in
his
federal
earlier stint?
custody?
I don't know. Like petty larceny. Like he was basically a perpetual loser.
So once you got there, you pretty much, aside from your trip to the ATM to try to get more money,
Yes, ma'am.
you stayed close to the train station and waited for their arrival?
Yeah, I did.
Weird.
Wasn't my
You
intent.
guys remember earlier what his plan was, like to get money and abscond?
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't like to get money, order a blood pizza, like stand under every camera in the Jacksonville area and get nabbed in under 24 hours, right?
Intent to go around the countryside killing people.
Yeah.
I'm out of money.
I'm out of gas. That's it. I was hungry. I was starving to death on the streets of Winter Park, one of
Blood
the
pizza
richest
was
towns
long
in
gone.
the Florida. Hungry.
In the Florida.
Oh, she'd give the shirt off her back. How many times have I heard that in my life? Oh, I'll do that.
How many times people giving you a shirt? Look into your guys' life, right? How many times have you said they would give you the shirt off their back versus how many times you've seen them give a shirt or you've received a shirt? Right? How cool and good are they, right? Count it in shirts.
That's something people like to get high on. They love doing that. Oh, I'd give the shirt off my back. I'd do this, that, and the other. No, you won't. You'll give just enough so it doesn't hurt. No, people don't give a damn about nobody
They won't
in
give
this
their
world.
shirts anymore.
They don't care. They don't care. If I knocked on anybody's door and said, hi, I need some food and a place to live, 911. Hey, I need some water. Get out of here, you bum. Get a job.
I mean, you didn't look like this
right
when you were on the streets, right? Like it's not like you were rolling around with your weird little like raspberry mold haircut and this, I don't know, $49.99 J.C. Penney manager special suit. You look like a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, because when you knock on someone's door in Winter Park, you did so with the intent to commit a home invasion.
Oh, Julio Dominguez left me no choice. I mean,
Right, so well, that's the thing now. Now do you blame the people for being like 911? Because the one time you did do the thing that you're saying, a murder was committed.
Right.
Yeah? Knock, knock, knock. Hey, can I get some water? And a murder, man.
20.
Right. There's places to go get
That was your
help.
intent, and
No,
you
the
carried it
federal
out.
the federal government turned me into an animal, and I can prove it. You lock a person in a
They sent me to the island of Dr. Moreau. I was a warthog for 7.5 months.
Non-responsive.
they turned me into an animal.
They made me
Is
run
what
on
they
a
did.
wheel.
They terrorize you. They brutalize you.
I had a drink from a giant bottle that hung on the wall. Sunflower seeds were my only refuge.
It's a sick, sadistic game. The penal system in America is a spectacular failure. Nothing works. But everyone that drives by...
Look, I committed crimes and it failed me. It kept making me worse. They're supposed to rehabilitate me. And I just kept going like, yep, I'm going to go commit more crimes. 6 of them, to be precise, as far as I know.
At prison, they glance at it real quick and keep driving. They may shudder. Oh, that's it. Oh God, and thank God I'm not there, and keep on a rolling. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what goes on in there.
True,
They'll spend
true.
$30,000 a year to keep you in jail, and they won't give you a nickel to keep you out. They turned me into an animal. I've been beaten. I've been chained to beds for days at a rip. I've been locked in cells that are so stifling hot. I have flashbacks to this very day.
Like he was incarcerated in like 1930s, like Devil's Island. Like what?
Cockroaches running over my body. I've been beaten. I've been raped. I've been
the cockroaches was nice. It kind of tickled. It was nice to break up in the old monotony.
everything.
So
in
was
prison.
Julio Dominguez
And
found
yet you
guilty or
did-
not?
and
I'm
now
just
I'm-
asking because Scott here has an ironclad
this
alibi.
is the trial. He's just a character witness. This is actually the trial of Julio Dominguez for the indirect murder of Jennifer Wolfarth.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
free world,
Guilty.
in
Okay,
this
hold on.
guy
Hold on.
rips everything out.
Yet you did something
What?
that will
What?
potentially put you in prison for the rest of your life or on death row.
I couldn't help it.
Couldn't.
I don't.
You intentionally
What
did.
else could I have done? Anything? Sure. Yeah, fine. Yeah, anything but end another human being's life. But could I have? I argue not, because I did the other thing.
Did something to get yourself back into the prison system,
For the colostomy bag.
correct?
Ma'am,
You had not just money as a goal, but to get back into the prison system, right?
no,
Ma'am?
that wasn't my intent.
Because you made this YouTube video that you talk about that you made, that was an effort by you to raise money for a second medical procedure,
Yeah.
all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the jail would have to pay for it.
When that failed, you knew
Obviously.
that your only hope for getting this second medical procedure was for either the federal government to pay for it while you're in custody or for the people of Florida to pay for it, right?
I don't have $30,000 in my pocket.
So why are you shaking your head, dipshit?
Right.
You fucking dirt-bellied grub. Like, no. Well, yes, I guess technically after you said everything and I shook my head like a pouty little baby bitch, yeah, technically I don't have the money. And so, yeah, I would have to potentially kill someone to get behind bars long enough to, like, get past their waiting list.
Pocket, but I never intended to go back to prison.
Not
It
intentional.
was never my intention. I didn't do anything to want to go back.
I didn't
That was
do
not
it.
it. I knew the federal government, the U.S. Federal Bureau of Prisons, was not going to pay for the second part of the operation that I needed, that they flubbed and made sure I didn't get to begin
Classic
with.
prison flub.
So instead, you want to go into the Florida state prison system.
No.
So that you could get the medical care.
No,
that you just-
I had medical care.
Hold on, sir. I couldn't hear you.
Where?
All over.
You didn't have the $30,000. Where are you getting the care from? Like,
State insurance
it's
access.
less than 10 seconds now. We're like revolving around 180
I had
degrees.
medical care coming.
So you committed the worst possible crime in order.
Great time to smile, Scott. Really show off those tobacco stained yeah. Like, yeah. So you murdered someone. That's when you show sheer joy. No, good call. Jury.
To either get to death row so you could have a single cell, or back into prison so that you
You get your colostomy
could
bag.
get free medical care. Yes?
Yes and no,
No.
but mostly yes.
Absolutely not. You're wrong.
Right.
You're drumming something up.
So it was all about the money then? All about the money.
Isn't everything?
Is that a yes?
I had to eat. I'm a human being.
Is that a yes?
You're damn right it's yes.
You remember?
Can't handle the yes. You're damn right. It's
You're
yes.
damn right.
God damn, dude. Like, I don't know.
$300.
It feels a little bit like a play written by like someone's nephew who's really into true crime, and like this is their version of like a taut Alan Sorkin style back and forth, where it's like, "You damn right I did."
Remember writing a letter to the state attorney, Aramis
You're damn
Ayala,
right.
back on January 3rd of
No,
2018?
maybe.
Ma'am, I don't remember that. I've written so many letters in my life.
You remember telling
Whole
her
life.
that you knew exactly
You know how many sweepstake I've entered via the mail? A lot. I don't even know. I don't know why I brought it up, but it's been a lot.
what you were doing when you committed first-degree murder?
I think I've said that.
Huh?
All right?
I mean, I don't know about the levels and degrees of homicide. I mean,
You said that you spent
I mean, guys, remember earlier when he was like spending 24 hours a day in a law library? Wouldn't like that sort of thing, like the levels of murder, be common knowledge to you by now? Like a doctor, after they get their doctorate, they go, you know what a femur is? They go, yeah, obviously. That's an easy one. Someone who's spending 24 hours a day at any point in their existence, they go, what's first degree murder? And they go, I don't know. Imagine if you asked your doctor what your metatarsal bones were, and they go, I get a new doctor. I don't know what the degrees of murder are. I'm just a jailhouse lawyer. Simple country jailhouse lawyer.
many years in the library in prison. So
Oh, she's going to bring it up too.
you
I'm not an
know
attorney.
that first-degree premeditated murder is the highest level offense.
What were you reading for all those hours? Like, did you sneak a bunch of Marmaduke comics in there?
Yeah.
Criminal offense
Harry Potter.
in the state of Florida.
No, I don't know much about state law. But anyway,
What law were you, like, were you researching federal law?
you-
Nevertheless,
What were
you, whether you've said it in a letter before, whether you told the police, you're telling this jury that you knew 100% what you were doing when you committed intentional, planned, premeditated murder.
He had to.
Yes or no?
no.
Didn't know.
Huh?
No other questions, John?
Fucking done with this
D.
douchebag. I wonder how long the jury deliberated for at the end. Like 4 seconds? Did they just walk in, go, okay, he's guilty?
Is an absolute pile. And, you know, Scott Nelson is one of the, like, the maybe like B or C tier level, like, figures in true crime contemporarily. You know what I mean? He's got, not that he's got a lot of carnage in his path, but like his performance was so bad. He's like a Sarah Boone. It's not a volume, it's a quality and a tone
Yeah.
sort of thing. And that's what's so insane about it. It's like, or like maybe one day we'll do it, maybe we won't. We probably won't because there's children involved in that one. But the Tony Toad case, where like his story was all kinds of like 17 shades of batshit insane. And like, I mean, it's just impossible to wrap your head around sometimes. Anyway, so there you go. There's Scott Nelson, a piece of shit. Now, you know, he rots for the rest of his life thanks to Julio Dominguez, who again, real person.
Right.
Not a fictitious, you know, it's not a sonnet shoe type situation. It's real. But yeah, if this at all piqued your interest, watch his interrogation, because it does feel like again, it's Monday Morning Quarterback, where he like basically just gives it all away in the interrogation, and then has to play Monday Morning Quarterback and be like, "Yeah, I was making him tap dance," and like when you're crushed by a mountain of evidence, it doesn't matter how you manipulate or whatever a couple of people for a few hours, like you're still going to be rotting away in a big in a concrete zoo with a bunch of other possible whatever, man. You know what? Live your life the way you want to. I suggest doing it anti Scott Nelson.
Right. Not in prison.
Woof. Anyway, thank you guys so much for showing up and going through that if you did. Tomorrow we've got our big finale for April Ghouls. So if you're a Halloween fan, get ready because we've got a special thing FDO put together for us. Looking forward to that. So until then, catch you on the next episode of FFOP Radio.
Bye.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.